playing well in the Premier League. Cole Palmer, I don't need to speak about him. He's brilliant. Madueke's on fire too. This could be the beginning of a great season for Chelsea. And you called this in Prem Predictions. You said this.
I did, Theo. 4 away wins in a row. They're looking really good. Yeah. But because this is a London derby, I think it's got 1-1 written all over it. I'm going for the draw.
I don't. The last time they played was at the Bridge. Do you know the score, Dad? Guess the score. Just guess it.
2-1.
Chelsea fans will know.
Chelsea?
Incorrect. It was 5-0. And Nico Jackson got 3 contributions, 2 goals, 1 assist.
Wow.
I think he'll be the difference here.
Right.
He's going to score an 86th minute winner. 2-1 Chelsea. Limbs at the Bridge. And maybe the tennis player Tiafoe will be in the away end after wearing the shirt in a training match. We're talking about a local rivalry here that's building from how many times they face off in the Premier League. Aston Villa and Wolves. Let's talk about Villa. I mean, they travelled to Young Boys and won 3-0.
Yes, it's 5th against 18th here, isn't it? Villa against Wolves. And it's a local derby. So most people would look at this and think,
18th.
Nailed on for
Wolves
Villa.
are 18th.
They are 18th here.
Jeez,
What is that all about? Now, you said they might be in the relegation this year.
I think if you look at the stats, they're on 1 point. And they've had the worst start since they got promoted to the top flight in 2018. Wolves have potential, but that squad needs to connect.
Now look at Villa. They've had a busy week, Theo, but they went and beat Young Boys, didn't they?
They
3-0
did,
comfortably. Last weekend, they went 2-0 down to Everton. They won 3-2. So Villa are on great form. They're sitting 5th in the league. And to be quite honest, they win this one. They win this one comfortably 2-1.
I mean, let's talk about a few players.
Talk about Tielemans first.
Tielemans, excellent. Amadou Onana, who's come in, scored against Young Boys, brilliant. Another man who scored against Young Boys who's been surprising, quietly very good every week is Jacob Ramsey.
Yes.
And then off the bench, I think they've got the best super sub in the Premier League currently.
Duran.
So good they named him twice.
Yes.
Well, they named Phil twice. Duran will probably score the winner in the 2-1 win that I predicted.
Fulham versus Newcastle United, now 12th against 3rd there. What a long trip south for the Geordie boys, but they will come in numbers. Now, talk to me about Fulham, Theo. A sort of indifferent start to the season.
It's difficult for them. They just lost in the EFL Cup to Preston North End. And it was quite a crazy game. A 1-1 win streak for the teams. You know how it goes. Everyone takes a pen. And when I say everyone, I mean the full squad. And everybody scored from both teams. In fact, the score ended 16-15 and they lost. They got knocked out by PNE, so Fulham are looking to bounce back at the Cottage, and they love playing at the Cottage. They're now unbeaten in 3. They look good at home, don't they? And it seems to be Raul Jimenez scoring early goals. He's now replaced Rodrigo Nunez.
Which is good to see, Theo. So what you're saying, Fulham are out of the League Cup, and Bolton Wanderers are still there, Theo. Yeah. Arsenal coming up. Newcastle's record against Fulham, last 8 games, won 6 and drawn 2. They will be the favourites here.
The Magpies are one of 5 teams unbeaten this season.
Yeah.
They've only got 1 clean sheet in 18 away games, though.
Yes,
That's their worry. Historically, for some reason, they seem to always win at Fulham away. When they come down to the capital, they come away with 3 points.
I think, Theo, Fulham are becoming the draw specialist. Last 3 games, it's been 1-1 after 90 minutes. Forget penalties for a moment. Newcastle, I think, are just that little bit stronger. I think it might be 1-0 till quite late. Newcastle will win. Fulham 1, Newcastle 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a similar result, 1-0.
Leicester City against Everton is 15th against 20th. This is a massive relegation struggle, isn't it?
It is.
These are 2 teams who have not won this season. Talk to me about Leicester City.
They've got some glimpses of quality, but 2 of the 6 who haven't won a Premier League match, so that's why it's massive. Vardy, though. Yes. Jamie Vardy, 2 goals so far this season. Age is just a number for him. He keeps finding a way.
And I love what a shithouse he is, Theo. And I mean that in a good way, because on the field, sometimes you've got to wind up the opposing fans, wind up the opposing players. He is evergreen, Theo. He is an example to the likes of me. Just keep playing and keep enjoying it.
Well, the funny thing is, the last time they played Everton, he scored.
Yes.
And it was actually at home too. And funnily enough, I was at that game.
Recent history, I think that Everton have got the better of this fixture. But let's look at their season on and off the pitch. They're on the pitch, 4 defeats from 4 games, 13 goals conceded. And in the background, you've got an investor capital.
They've got added problems to their club that other clubs don't have to deal with, and that doesn't help, you know? In the now, I'm worried. Now, the one little, I'd say, positive in the rough is Calvert-Lewin.
Yes.
He's got 2 goals and 1 assist in the last 2 games. And if they're going to come away from the Foxes with any kind of result, I think having a man on form is important, and he could be the way.
Very difficult to call, but I'm going to sit on the fence and say Leicester 2, Everton 2.
And I'm going to shake your hand because I've gone for the exact same result. And what makes it even crazier, the last time they played was a 2-2.
Yeah.
I was there. So maybe we're going to create this juju and it's just going to happen.
Liverpool against AFC Bournemouth is 4th against 11th. This is two teams who lost at home last weekend. I'll repeat that. Liverpool lost at home to Nottingham Forest. Liverpool fans, oh, by the way, you met about 20 Liverpool fans on the flight to Buenos Aires, didn't you?
There's so many Scousers at the Boca game.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I love it. We spent the whole time on the flight chatting. They know who they are. I'm sure they're watching. We'll go for a few beers with them after.
Yes.
But I don't think the cop will be needed to be in full voice because beating the Cherries at home, it should be a bit of a walkover, especially after they need to bounce back off that poor Forest 1-0 loss.
But let's talk about the Milan game here, because that was comfortable midweek. That is a statement of intent.
It started worryingly. 3 minutes in, you went a goal down to Pulisic, who always seems to score against the Scousers, and then a reaction came. And it wasn't from the forwards that you'd imagine, it was actually the centre-backs, wasn't it?
It was.
2 corner goals, and then Dominic Szoboszlai to end what is a great result at San Siro. Limsy match. Fearless, said the AC Milan Ultras. Well, not so fearless from the Liverpool players, I must admit. After that 90 minutes, they will come in confident to Anfield, and I think they will win on a 2-goal aggregate, 2-0.
Do you know what? The last time Bournemouth went up to Liverpool, they went 2-0 down and they won 2. This one.
Oh, shit. It's the team of the week. It's fucking good.
Ipswich Town is 19th against 17th here. These are two teams who've scored 3 goals between them all season. So starting with Southampton, they've scored the 1 solitary goal. They've got no points. And last season, they lost twice to Ipswich.
That's why it's hard to call this game. 2 championship teams. A little stat for you before we get into the facts. When
Bobby Charlton
play in the Premier League, the home team has only won once from the last 6 fixtures.
Wow.
So clearly, pressure runs through. I do think that Ipswich will come in confident, knowing they beat them 1-0 last year in the Championship, and it was Amari Hutchinson who scored that goal, and he's now signed him a permanent for the club, so will he arrive to that away day confident?
That's a very good point, Theo. Now, look at Ipswich this season. I know they've lost 2, but they've drawn 2. And you know what? Going to Brighton and drawing 0-0, that's a good result.
Especially after Brighton just got a draw at Arsenal.
Yes.
So Ipswich are showing that they can scrape enough points together. But what are the Saints doing? It's looking worrying when your centre-back, the Japanese centre-back, is your top goal scorer.
Yeah.
You need to ask more of Adam Armstrong. They brought in the Chilean.
Ben Brereton Diaz. Hasn't he
Don't
just
forget the
broken a record for the number of games that he's lost in a row or something like that? Southampton 1, Ipswich 1.
It's a bit puro freaking Man City, mi equipo.
Liam Delap to score.
Tottenham Hotspur against Brentford now is 13th against 9th. It's the second London derby of the weekend. Now, these are 2 teams who lost last weekend. But I know it's a hard one to call this.
It is a tough one to call because Ange is in free fall.
Yes.
And I thought when commentary were 1-0 up in the EFL Cup that we were going to see a lot of questions about safety of his job. Now,
Good race.
Seeing Arsenal not even look good, but get the job done. You know, that's what really annoyed me and should annoy the Tottenham players.
Yes.
Is that Arsenal weren't good that game. There was no red cards or like foul play or real anger from Spurs. I mean, you're losing the North London derby at home.
Yes.
At least go down swinging. If I was the manager, maybe this is why I'm not Premier League manager, but I would lose my. And that's why I think opportunity is here for Brentford.
Wow.
And they did it the last time they went to the new Tottenham Stadium. They actually lost, but the time before that, they won 2-1. Now, that Wissa out for 2 months is a big hit, isn't it, Thogdad?
It is there. Now, with Spurs, they've got 7 games in 22 days, so the fixtures are coming thick and fast. What worries me about Brentford, they're a good team here. They've only lost to Liverpool and Man City this season.
I don't like this new James Maddison, and I don't know what Ange has done to him, but it seems like he's not playing as good this year. I like the directness.
Yeah.
When he used to get the ball with no worries, just smash it. Maybe now that he's got the big contract and the lavish lifestyle and the nice training ground, everything's good, he's got his family, he lives in London, maybe now he feels a bit too comfortable. I am worried for Tottenham. If Brentford come here with a lot of intent, they can come away with a win.
They can.
But I'm not going to say it, I'm going to go Spurs 2, Brentford 1, Brennan Johnson will be the difference this day, I believe that.
And I'm just going to say ditto, 2-1 to Spurs. Crystal Palace against Manchester United is 16th against 10th. Now, Crystal Palace, no wins this season. But look back to the end of last season. The last 7 games of last season, 1-6, drawn 1. What is going wrong?
Yeah, well, it's never going to be always perfect for Oliver Glasner.
No.
You know, and he sold his best player in Elise, and it's hard to ask for the same. And now you're playing Manchester United, who are arguably in the best form that I've seen of them
Yeah.
since the Fergie days. Is that a big
Yes.
statement to make?
Well, Theo,
Because they are on the last 2 games,
10-0.
10-0.
Yes.
So-
I mean, Southampton and Barnsley.
But it's about confidence. What else are they meant to do?
Yes.
Score less goals. They're playing very good right now.
Yes.
And this is their first big challenge. Palace away, tough place to go, but they're better than them right now. And players like Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford.
Yes.
Can I give you
Yes.
a little fact? The last time Crystal Palace lost to Manchester United at Selhurst Park was when Marcus Rashford made the difference.
Yes.
Since then, they've gone 4 games unbeaten, 2 wins,
true.
2 draws, and last time was most memorable. Palace beat them 4-0.
They did.
So a lot of the Palace fans will be hoping for the same. But the last time United beat them, Marcus Rashford scored, and they went on to win 2-1.
Yeah, shit.
So, Ten Hag, if you do not play Marcus, I think you've lost it. This has been the best style of play that we've seen of Manchester United in a very long time. And I know there's loads of United fans that watch this channel. And I'm actually, as a Bolton fan, I don't really like United. People know that. I'm quite worried because they look pretty good.
Yeah.
They actually look pretty good.
But Theo, the fly in the ointment, it's London, it's the capital. Now, the last 16 games that United have played in London, won 2, drawn 4, and lost 10. And those wins, who are they against? One team,
It's going to be West Ham.
Fulham.
Oh.
So that's their record. So they have a jinx, and this used to happen to Bolton Wanderers. There were several years when Bolton didn't win in London, and for that reason, Theo, and I know that's really weird.
Bro,
it's got to be Palace
go,
1,
man.
United 1. It's going to be a draw.
I think the Red Devils will find a way.
Yes.
This has been Palace's worst start since Frank de Boer 17-18 season, and Palace fans will hate me for saying that because they will be a lot better off this season, don't worry. But right now, the Red Devils will fire. And I think that winning goal will be Bruno Fernandes. He got 2 assists at the end of the Barnsley game. He's looking brilliant. Bruno will make the difference. Big away win for the United fans.
Brighton and Hove Albion against Nottingham Forest is 6th against 7th. These are 2
Yes.
teams who've made a brilliant start to the season. They are both unbeaten, Theo. And if Brighton win or draw the next game, that's 5 games at the start of the season unbeaten. That's the first time they've ever done that.
It's incredible. It's just a shame that they drew that 0-0 at home to Ipswich.
Yes.
But they came up against the Tractor Boys and they were fighting. They knew every point in the Premier League counts. That's what the new German manager is going to have to deal with. Every week is difficult. You can win the big ones and draw against Arsenal, but you play Ipswich the week after. It's not going to be easy.
Yes.
And this is the same. Forest have just beaten Liverpool away.
I know.
That shows you this league is unpredictable to the biggest statement. And at the North London Derby the next day, I was sat next to Anthony Elanga, show the clip, and I asked him, mate, if you score at Brighton away, do you mind bringing back the goggles celebration? We all know it.
Oh, yeah.
The goggles
yeah.
celebration.
Yes.
He's going to do it. Anthony Elanga, I asked you, please, if you score in this game, bring back the goggles. Come on, we all love the goggles celebration.
Do you know what, Theo? Forest fans in 20, 30, 40 years will be talking about that result. I can remember being at Anfield
Yes.
with Bolton beating Liverpool. I've been to Old Trafford twice when Bolton have beaten Man United. I'm still talking about that 30 years later. So both of these teams, Theo, they've both conceded 2 goals each in 4 games. Tight defensively. You know, that is the key to staying up.
It's going to be a Matoma masterclass. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Sorry, Anthony, but prove me wrong.
Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0. And that concludes Premier League
That's it, guys.
predictions, because
Bye.
that's all the teams, isn't it, Theo?
Oh, no. I think
Have
I'll just
we-
see the
have we
list.
forgotten one?
Manchester City Football Club
Oh.
are facing Arsenal
Oh,
on
right.
Sunday.
I mean, it doesn't
clash.
It's not really much
Not
of
really
a game.
much.
Let's
Well,
talk
what's that
about
in
it
the Premier
anyway.
League? First, second. Maybe we should.
Right, Theo. Do you know what?
Okay, we'll bring it
This is the game of the weekend. Manchester City have got a 100% record, but midweek, Theo, 0-0. So it is possible to stop Man City scoring.
You could say the same for Arsenal because they
Yes.
travelled to Bergamo and it was David Raya in the end. They would have lost.
Oh, yes.
Double save, incredible. If you didn't see that, penalty save was good. But that reaction after. And as I said, we're constantly getting in this repetition. David Raya saves the day. That is what Arteta's seen in the man. If Arteta is going to beat Guardiola for the first time ever at Etihad, it's going to be down to many David Raya saves. It might be a scrappy header from Saliba or something, and they come away with it. And finally, they go top of the league. Someone stops City. Will it happen? It's very unlikely. I'd give it
Yeah.
about a 10% chance. But you don't write them off. If they can find a possibility of stopping Haaland, that game is very open. And the further that game goes on 0-0, the more worried City will be.
That is true, but the dominance from Erling Haaland this season has been astonishing. He's got 9 goals already, Theo.
No, it's crazy.
The nearest to that is 3 goals. And I love midweek. You see at the end of the game, he went up to that defender. It was that. I mean, that was brilliant.
Well, Kirby's like this old defender, doesn't have much pace. He's the last player you'd expect to be able to pocket Haaland, but he did it because he's got experience.
Yeah.
And football is more than just pace and strength.
It is.
But I'm so sure that this game will have under 2 goals that I'm willing to lump.
Not all of that.
Yeah, all of that, guys.
Wow.
All of this. I've slapped it on the table. I'm saying under 2 goals in this game. In fact, I think City will find a goal. It won't be Haaland. It'll be like Gundogan or something. 1-0 win.
And I agree with you, Theo. I'm going to put my Argentinian
Hey, that's the money I just
pesos
put in. You've got to take my money.
Man City to win 1-0. Can I say, Theo, how brilliant it is to get this series back. Premier League
It's great to be back.
predictions.
Do you know what? We're talking through all these games, we're all these facts. I don't know why we stopped. So I hope we hit 10,000 likes so we can see you next week. Enjoy the Prem and watch out for the main channel. Just a small game.
Yeah.
Small game. If you know, just Super Classico. See you next week. 10K likes. Bye-bye.
We'll start again. We'll go again with the academy and we'll build it up. But I'll tell you something. They could relegate us to League 2 and we'd still be back in the Premier League before Man United won it.
Damn, that's a tough take.
What's going on, people? Troops TV. Back again.
Back again.
Like a blood clot again, you understand? Obviously, preview time, you get me? We travel up to the Etihad, you understand? I'm only calling it the Etihad because I got my brother on right now, you get me? And he's a Man City fan that I respect, blood, you understand? So I'm gonna try and be respectful, troops, for this preview, blood, you get me? As we go deeper, pause. I don't know if that will stay that way, blood, you get me? But we travel to the Etihad on Sunday. So there's only one man that I can get on to break bread, blood, you get me? My brother, big blood clot Steve. It's been a minute. Obviously, we linked up last year to do the Emirates preview. We didn't get to do the Etihad one, but this year, you get me, we're going to do, we got both of them for the people then, blood. Big Steve, welcome back to the channel, blood. You understand? How you been doing, my bro?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Big game last night, Inter Milan, draw. So all eyes are focused on Sunday now. Yeah, big game.
How you feeling? Let me just touch on that real quick. Yesterday, obviously, I watched the game, 0-0 against Inter Milan. It was free flowing up until the final third. Gundogan missed a lot of chances, blood. You get me? He's normally that guy. Is that something that I should take into the game coming up, or was that just City just having one of them nights?
Well, I feel like we've started the season well. You know what I mean? We've won at Chelsea, won at West Ham, which are tough places to go. We've done okay. I think yesterday we knew Inter Milan was always going to set up like that. They did set up like that in the Champions League final. They are very good defensively. I don't think we was ever going to get beat. I feel like if they'd have scored, I think City, it might have given us a bit of a kick up the arse, but we just seemed to go a bit flat after the break. Once De Bruyne went off and Savio went off, it was Inter Milan just locked in and just kept us passing around the edge of the box, keeping it wide. And we didn't really create too much. Like, say, Foden maybe could have scored. Gundogan missed a couple of chances. But it was just one of them nights. And I think because it's that new format, the Champions League, where it's a league basis, I feel like we'll be okay. I don't think anyone's panicking. But, I mean, Arsenal did pretty much the same last year at the Etihad. They set up defensively and just blocked us out and kept us to possession-based football. I feel Arsenal's defence is probably the best in Europe, to be fair. I feel like...
Really?
Yeah, I think they've got a great defence. The only problem with me, with what I feel like they need to do is be a bit more braver when they go against City and people like that, because when you've got a defence as good as Arsenal's, you can go a bit gung-ho, you know. So if I'm Saliba and Gabriel, I'd be saying, listen, go, man, go. Put it on them. If they break, we're all right here. We'll be okay. And sometimes you've got to ride your luck. City get caught many times, 3-on-2s, 4-on-2s.
Yesterday, there was a couple of times on the break where I said, yo, they're in here, you know, it's 3-on-2s. I was like, yo, but
they always survive it.
Yeah.
And that's because you've got to be brave. And last season, I said Arsenal lost the league at the Etihad.
I
And
agree.
the people were going, no, it's Aston Villa. And I said, no, I said, you're missing the point, right? From a mentality and a point of view, if you'd have beat us at the Etihad, you'd have knocked City 3 points further back, which City would have gone, fucking hell, we're going to struggle now. And Arsenal would have gone, you know what? We just beat the best team in the country, possibly in Europe, in their own backyard. We just got to see these games out and win the league. But then the Arsenal fans was on my case saying, no, it was the Villa game and that. But they're missing the point. There's a mentality block at Arsenal. You don't finish second the last 2 seasons if there isn't, because you've played fantastic football. You've got a title-winning team. Everything around the club looks the bollocks. But the last 10 games, when they're overlooking on the shoulder and City are there, it starts them to wobble a little bit and then they lose it. So I believe last season, I never said it publicly because I wouldn't, but I thought Arsenal was going to beat us if they had a pair of balls at the Etihad. So when I came and I seen you set up like this...
So you was nervous going into that game?
Yeah, well, yeah, you always are, but obviously some fans feed off me. They'll look how I am. So they'll say, what do you think? So if I say, oh, fucking hell, I'm shitting it, if Arsenal come and they fucking put it on us, we're going to get beat, everyone starts going to shit. So I just, like, relaxed and I was watching it. And then I remember saying to my mate next to me, I went, you know what? I went, they're not going to go for us here. They're happy to sit in and maybe get us on the counter, which suited us because I didn't believe at the time City were playing that well. So when you did that, it was a blessing. But when a lot of football fans reached out to me and said, Steve, I understand what you're saying about the Arsenal. I get it, the mentality thing. I get what you're saying. A lot of the younger ones were like, you just wanted us to go and attack you so you could beat us 5-0 and that. But I'm like, no, you're a different Arsenal now. You have got to start making statements in the league. It's all right beating City 1-0 at the Emirates in fucking March, May, or whatever it is, whenever we started the season, early in the season, August, whatever. But you've got to do it in May. You've got to do it in April when the shit, you can see the tunnel and you think, right, we're going there now. Because Paul Scholes then on the overlap mentioned it. I didn't mention it. He mentioned it and said, when we've been in title races with teams, you don't understand how much of a boost you get when you go to your rivals and you win in that last.
I was just gonna say, I'm from an era where me and you were under. I'm obviously I'm a little younger, but I'm around that age. You get me? Where I was of age when we were winning Premier League titles, and I remember my players at the time, the Anelkas, the Henrys, the Bergkamps, the Perez's, the Vieiras, saying that we didn't believe in ourselves until we went and beat Man United at Old Trafford that we could win a league.
There you go. And I feel that is a
well. Yeah, I've said that as well. That we have to go to City and win. Otherwise, we don't win this league title, bro. It's not good enough going there and getting a point. We have to go there and take all 3 points, bro. Otherwise, for me, even though it's this early, I can't see us getting it over the line, bro.
Well, I did a lad Bible with, I'm not going to mention which Arsenal fan, it'll come out. And the question was, can Arsenal win the league? This is after 3 games. He said no. After 3 games. So, the mentality...
He obviously believes that we can't go to Man City and win. He doesn't believe that we can go to City.
I don't think he believes he can win, that Arsenal can win it. I mean, I believe Arsenal can win it. I think, looking at the team, I think it's good enough to win it. I just have my reservations about late in the season, and that's not me taking the piss out of Arsenal. The proof's in the pudding. The last 2 seasons, in the last 10 games, Arsenal have gone to shit. All the way up to 30 games or 29 games, they've been brilliant. But it's just that the pressure is different. And when I say that, it's like teams like Southampton or teams like Brighton or whatever, when they come in the last 10 games and they've got something to fight for, Europe or relegation, it's fucking different. So when you look on paper and you think, oh yeah, we'll beat Brentford at home. Brentford might be going for the Europa League. All of a sudden, Brentford are fucking, you're 2-0 up. And you're like, what the fuck's going on here? And that's how City have been there. I've seen Crystal Palace come and flop us at the Etihad and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Because the players take it for granted. They relax. They feel like they can just turn up. But you can't. And like you say, Pep and City, they're so good at smelling that blood. We wasn't great last season. We were tired from the season before with the treble and the Super Cup and all that. We was not good. But in that last 10 games, soon as Arsenal slipped, we was just on you then. And that's when us as fans knew, right, fuck it, we're on it. And then we rised again and we got the team going over the line. I just feel like Arsenal have got to do that. They've got to make that statement where they say, we're fucking mean business now. We've gone to the Etihad and we've done you. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what they need to do.
De Bruyne went off during the game against Inter Milan. Obviously, it's a bit early, but what's the diagnosis? Early diagnosis. Will he be okay for Sunday, or is it looking a bit?
It looked like he pulled something to me.
Yeah, because it looked a bit like.
Yeah, he pulled something, and then he came off. Then he came back on, and then he went off at half time. But to be honest, if you watch the game, he was miles off it, Kev. He was miles off it. Whether he was carrying something, I don't know. But listen, we've got to be real. Kevin De Bruyne will probably go down as one of the best, if not the best midfielder around, creative-wise, in the Prem. But he's not the same as he was 2 years ago. We know that.
I've said that, and people get offended and say, "Oh, Troops, you're mad." But now that you said it, I don't think I think he's lost like a yard of pace.
He's definitely lost a yard of pace. Definitely lost a yard of pace. Don't get me wrong, he's dangerous. He can pull a fucking pass out of his arm.
He's still got like the technical creativity and vision
but he's just not that guy. There's a few players at City like that now. Kyle Walker is the same. Kyle's declining.
He's finished. I can't lie. He's finished.
He's declining.
Rico charge. He caught him on a Rico charge, and now you're done, blood.
So yeah, there is a couple like that, but you can't write these players off. We have got a good squad. We've got Kovacic and Gundogan there now, and people that can come in. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden. Phil Foden had a great season last year. If Kevin De Bruyne isn't ready, then we've got Phil Foden. He needs to step it up. We did last season in the league. He needs to step it up again. That's what we need.
Going into Sunday, if we win, do you think that's a statement?
I think it's a statement for you, yeah.
As well.
Yeah, sure. I feel like for you, it's a statement where then psychologically you can go to the Etihad and get the win.
Will you take us seriously? Because I don't think you'll take us seriously at this moment in time. Will that make you look at us and say, okay, cool, they're here now, Like, they've been lurking, but okay, cool, they're kicking off the door.
For me, no. I just feel like I'll think, okay, we've not turned up and they beat us.
So it's a blip you see at if we get the W.
I can't be. Man City are always capable of a blip, but I can't be worried about it because I've always got this. If we're 1, 2, 3 points behind and with 10 games to go, we win it. This is what I'm saying. But for you, it'll be down to you to see how that affects you. You know what I mean? You might go beat us there, and then all of a sudden win the league, and you'll say, you know what, that win at the Etihad made us better. I just don't think City as a club would panic with that. If we lost, I don't think anyone here is panicking. I think if you lost and you're 5 behind us already, I think you panic. That's what I'm getting the gist of. After the draw against Brighton, I seen panic in some fans. If you lose against City and you're 5 away, then you're thinking, right, we've got to make up 5 and then go ahead of them. City are probably going to have a little blip somewhere in the season, we know that, but we're always going to come good towards the end, you know what I mean?
What kind of point gap do you think we need?
I think you've got to sort of dishearten City before that last 10 games.
We've had like 8 points and you still just kept plugging away, pause. What do we need? Like fucking absolute capitulation from City? Like, what's it gonna take, blood? Like,
I think you've got a small steps, got to beat us at the Etihad. I think, we'll have to look how City deal with that as well, the players. And then you've got to just keep doing your own thing, but it's just something there near the end where Arsenal look a little bit vulnerable. I don't know whether the pressure gets to them or I don't know what, but I always see these freak results, like you say, the Villa game, the Brighton ones the year before, Southampton games, and that where you're hanging on in the last minutes and getting draws and stuff, and it's mad because up until them points you look absolutely unbelievable and you're coasting it and you look like a machine, and then it looks like at the end the machine just fucking, the wheels start coming off it and that. But I don't know. I'm not qualified enough for that Arsenal therapy just yet.
It's bastard, blood. So obviously this week the case has started for the famous 115. Us over on Troop TV, we don't really know the actual ins and outs and what possible outcomes could emerge if you are found guilty of some of the charges. So could you let the man them know? In let me from the Man City point, especially because like you get me, you are representative, so you get me. It's like we have official Man City representation today, blood. You get me?
No comment.
He's really doing the Man City prep, blood.
Nah, listen. Yeah, listen. We're only fans as well. We don't know a lot. We don't know. We can only know what we've been told. It's the Premier League's to prove that Man City have first of all done these things, then Man City to prove they haven't done them things. So it's long, it's boring. I just want it over with. And people go, "Oh, why you must be guilty?" And it's like, well, why must we be guilty? In this country, it's innocent until proven guilty. In this case, it's literally guilty and guilty. And if you get found not guilty, you're guilty anyway because you paid everybody off. So to be honest, everyone just makes their own mind up. But it's going to be very interesting to see the outcome of it. I think it could open a massive can of worms for the Premier League in other aspects. I feel like City. The thing that got me, and this is how I've got to go by it, right? I will always back my club in any fight because the chairman and Khaldoon and Sheikh Mansour and that have never given me a reason not to. The only blip on the record has been the Super Cup, which got put in the bin, and that was that. But everything they've said they're going to do, they've done. Everything they've said they're going to build around the club, the infrastructure, etc., they've done. And in the end of season interview, Khaldoon, the chairman, said, "I look forward to the day we give our irrefutable evidence to the panel." Now, for me, I'm going to back that. If he's saying to me and the other fans, we've got irrefutable evidence, then as a Man City supporter, you've got to back. If Manchester City get found guilty and we get charged with things, then we've got a problem, a real problem, because the guy that's told us we've got irrefutable evidence clearly hasn't, and then we're going to have big issues with the Man City fans and the board and the chairman and the people that have done these things. That's hopefully a bridge we don't want to come across, but that's not Man City fans burying their head in the sand. That's me saying at the minute, as a City fan, we don't know what's going on. We're backing our club. When the court is done, if we're innocent, great, we move on. If we're not, we've got a problem and an uncomfortable situation that we're going to have to face in our own club with our own owners, and that's what we want to avoid. But for now, we don't know what's going on. People talking nonsense about, oh, you could get relegated and all this. I can't see it going down that road because
I've said that as well. I because relegation is when like the Juve thing where they was
match fixing,
and you lot ain't accused of that. So I don't think you'll be stripped of league titles, but I think there could be a point deduction because we saw that happen with Everton, and I think it was Forest.
Listen, I said it like this: if you give us a 30 point, if you gave us a 30-point deduction, last season, we would have still finished above Man United.
Yeah.
Right. So
I didn't even say top four. Man just went straight United.
Fuck a minute, but like I say, they're the ones piping up. But at the end of the day, give us 30 points. You know what I mean? We still finish 1 point above them. But no, listen. People got to understand the context. Relegation and all this stuff is all done for match fixing, bribery, referees, all that. These financial things, we've seen Chelsea fined 10 million. We've seen United fined. I think some of these financial things are City just being arseholes about things. The Premier League say, we want these documents by this date. Man City is saying, fuck you, we're giving you when we want. Man City just got fined £2 million for coming out on the pitch late. 2 mil for coming out on the pitch late. 10 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds. They don't give a fuck. And I think that's, rightly or wrongly, I think that Man City just like to rub the Premier League up the wrong way sometimes. So if your accountant says, Troops, your books are due in by the end of June, and you don't bring them in, you get fined. Yeah? Man City's done the same. There's 54 counts, I think, of not failure to provide the certain accounts at dates. I think City's just taking the piss on some of them, you know what I mean? But There's ones about Mancini earning £1 million bonus from one of the Sheikh's teams for doing coaching sessions. It's not against the law. It's not against the law, you know. It's just the Premier League is saying certain things wasn't filed in certain areas and that, but it's all a bit sketchy, man. We don't know the facts, and I don't think anybody does until the court case is open. But I just want to get it out of the way now, get it over with. And listen, I'll tell you the truth, troops. I've got my inflatable banana and my Kappa tracksuit in the cupboard, mate. If they put us in League Two, I'm ready to go again. Championship manager settings, mate. You know when you win the Champions League on Championship Manager and you get bored and you turn it off and you start again with Oxford? I'm ready for it, mate. I'm fucking ready to go. No problem. There's no place in this English football pyramid that this Premier League can put Man City where I haven't been before. And I'll be honest with you, mate, if it filters out all the dickheads and they all fuck off, go support United or Chelsea, and we're left with fucking 30,000 Burks at the Etihad, I'm happy with that. No problem. We'll start again. We'll go again with the academy and we'll build it up. But I'll tell you something, they could relegate us to League Two and we'd still be back in the Premier League before Man United won it. I'm telling you.
You know what? It's true, you know, because if they relegated you this year, yeah, United ain't winning the league for like another fucking maybe 10 years, blood. You get me? You go down to League Two, it's 3 back-to-back promotions, you're back, blood.
Imagine the war chest we'd have in League Two. We'd sell Haaland for 200 mil, Foden for 200 mil. You know what I mean? We'd sell Ruben Diaz for 100 mil. You know, we'd sell Bernardo Silva. We'd end up with about £1 billion war chest in League Two.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. You'd be like the new Wrexham.
It'd be crazy, mate. But nah, it's all banter aside. As a City fan, I'll be honest, it's boring now. I want it out the way. The vibes I'm getting from the club is like, don't worry about it. We've got it under control. They're paying big money for the defence lawyers and barristers, which they will do. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm a fan. I just want it over with and dealt with and move on.
Prediction for this weekend, fam.
I feel it's going to be a tight game. I do. I feel like City's going to nick it 2-1. I can't lie. After last night watching that defensive thing, I'm a bit worried about getting through if Arsenal go that way. If Arsenal go that way, I think Arsenal can get a point. But if Arsenal open up a little bit and try and have a goal, I think it's just a game on then. It's just literally a scrap. We'll see who wins.
We would have been missing Odegaard anyway, so it don't even make a difference that he's like the news has come out that he's out for longer than we was told. I told man as well, but he's gonna be out longer than 3 weeks, blood. Like the man was on crutches, the man never had a flipping shoe on. Like you can clearly see it was gonna be a peak one, blood. The way he landed, the way he turned, it was all ligament was just the first thing I thought was ligament, and to come out that it is ligament, blood.
Declan Rice is back. Declan's back.
Yeah, Rice.
Big one for you.
Rice is back. It's a big plus. It's for me. It's Martinelli had a good game last week. Now, I think it's the best he's played in a while. The only thing he didn't do was take that chance when it dropped. That's the only criticism I can have of his performance. I think him and Timber was causing absolute mayhem down that left-hand side. Pedro Porro had a tough game, like, you understand? And
I think the midfield battle's key, mate. I feel like Rodri's got to get a grip of it in there.
Because he came off the bench, innit? Yesterday,
I feel like Rodri played yesterday, but he's only coming back into it because of that injury. But
yeah,
I feel
he didn't
like
look fully up to speed.
I feel like it might be a Rodri, Kovacic, Bernardo midfield for us.
You think we're throwing? Yeah, you definitely throwing it straight away, especially because Rice is back. That's the thing, because
I feel like.
Sorry,
mate. I feel like we've got to think of something different to get at Arsenal. I feel like with this side-to-side passing and around the box is great, but and the thing is that gets me as well. We don't even cross it in the box, so there's no point in doing that. You know what I mean? We don't even shoot. We don't cross it in the box. Last night was the same. It's frustrating, but I feel like Phil Foden's got a big part to play if De Bruyne don't make it. He's got to step it up.
That midfield, man, he's got a big decision. Rice has to start, and then it's either Partey and Jorginho, or Jorginho and Trossard, or Partey and Trossard. There's so many, like Havertz can't play in the midfield. Then do you start Sterling on the left, or do you start?
Raheem's got a point to prove.
You know what I mean? That's why it's. I think the lineup's got a lot to do with the result, in my opinion, from our side. You get me? I think you lot. I think missing De Bruyne, it won't really. I don't think it really affects you lot with how much reinforcements you have in that midfield and the quality you have in the midfield. You won't really miss De Bruyne. With us, I think it's down to the lineup, blood. If he picks the right lineup, I think we can nick 1-0. If otherwise, 2-1 City. But I think it's down to the lineup, blood. If we start Sterling and go with a midfield of Rice, Partey or Jorginho.
I thought Partey looked slow, me.
So did I, blood.
I thought any other midfield I thought Tottenham missed the trick getting on them in there, but I feel City will. If he plays Partey, I feel like he'd be treading water in there. You need energy in there for me. If we've got a Bernardo Silva like a wasp in there, I think he'd be. You need energy to match it. I think Declan Rice and Rodri's going to go on at it, but I feel like Arsenal needs a little bit of energy in there. I'd be tempted to play Jorginho just for his passing.
That's what I'm saying. To retain possession, and because he can make them line breaking passes. I'd probably Rice, Jorginho, Trossard. 1-0 Arsenal. Same as Tottenham, blood. 1-0, please, blood. Oh my days, fam. Oh my days. The scenes, blood. You get me?
I'm looking forward to it though. I can't lie.
I'm
I am
excited, man. I can't lie. Like,
these games, I always say it and they go, "Oh, don't know what you mean." I go, "These games that give you a feeling in your chest, man. If you're playing fucking Ipswich at home, you go to the ground, you're having a pie and fucking waffling shit, and you know you're gonna smack them. But this is a game where you think, fucking hell, if we lose this today, I've got troops, Turkish, fucking every Arsenal fan I've ever met on my case, thousands of minions in the thing, can ruin my fucking week. You know what I mean? Look at expressions, man. He's fucking depressed now after last week.
Don't worry, I won't flames you like that.
Yeah, but he's like...
flame you like that. The way I flamed him, nah, blood. I needed to flame him, blood. he deserved that, bro. With our brought down midfield as well. Nah, hold that pussy up.
But yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to it, man. This is what we're football fans for. This is what you want to be. It could be very easy. We could be in a mid-table battle with someone boring.
Nicholas
title clashes and that. So I feel like we just got to embrace it, man. Enjoy it. And I love it, mate. I love it. I do love playing Arsenal. I do love it. I love the banter and that. And yeah, man. I'm excited, man. Bring it on.
Aguantarte white, que
Big
ya
up
está
yourself,
usado.
fam. You get me? Appreciate you taking the time out, bro. As always,
No
blood. You get
problem.
me? Let the people them know where to find you for. You get me, because
Yeah, TikTok at Big Steve MCFC, Instagram same at Big Steve MCFC, and YouTube, my channel. I'm trying to do more content, but I'm not as regular as other people. But at Big Steve MCFC, come over there. It's fair. Try to be fair and honest. You might not like it, but you might not like me talking about big blue sharks and blood in the water and that. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate it.
hopefully, you get me, my 11 piranhas take out this big piece of shit shark. You get me? But you don't know the vibes. Like, share, subscribe.
Nicholas.
Make sure you subscribe to Big Steve. Link is in the description, blood. You get me? Make sure you give him a sub and a follow and all that good stuff. I'll see you lot for the watch along, blood. Pray for troops.
Back again.
If this goes left, I'm fucking going viral.
I think Rashford needs to be an effective player. Rashford needs to be a GA player.
Forgot
You said
that-
Neymar over Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I just preferred Neymar. Like, genuinely, I love Ronaldinho with my heart, but Neymar for me, I enjoyed like everything about him as a football player.
Partnerships is what football is about, and Saliba and Gabriel are representing that so well.
So I did bring in the secret sauce this week. We're doing a launch party tonight as well. There's the bottle, man. Secret sauce. For the audio
Nicholas,
listeners,
you're
on
good.
the table right now.
Oh
Secret
my
sauce.
gosh.
You can get that burger in German Doner Kebab.
Why is it got dress?
Sauce. HP like the sauce.
It's
Of course,
amazing.
with my boy Young Philly.
Didn't realize that it says.
fuck? I mean, it's that bad?
We're trying to get out of this.
Yeah,
trying to get out of the hood.
I
Trying to
hear
get out of
that.
the hood, man.
Nah, that's hard, man.
Nicholas,
That's
you're
amazing.
done.
I can't wait to get a burger.
Vamos.
Nah, yeah, I'm trying to.
Because what you said before.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah, please.
You know what I mean?
You've got a tendency to go left as well. You know what I like though, yeah? I like your honesty. So the other day I was watching FCM.
Yes.
And you know what killed me? You put water in your eyes, yeah, and said that the North London derby was probably one of the worst in terms of dribbling, yeah. But Arsenal ended up getting the win, which it's kind of inevitable against Spurs. If they don't score first, I feel like there's an issue at hand.
Yeah.
But they got the win. They're now 2 points off Man City, right? Going into this crucial game at the Etihad, Man City against Arsenal. Now, Man City have, you alluded to it last week about Pep saying that it's literally pre-season.
Yeah.
And it started again. Erling Haaland can't stop scoring. Declan Rice will be back.
Yeah.
How, in your opinion, how is this game going to go? Is it regular programming, or Arsenal, are they going to showcase what they're good at? Because defensively, I think they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
They know exactly how to defend well as a team, and I think they're going to need to do that against this this Man City team. Obviously, Erling Haaland it's probably difficult against Gabriel and Saliba. But what's your opinion on this game?
I think everything you said there, man. Defensively, I think Arsenal are going to show why they're probably the best in the world defensively at the moment in terms of a unit. You rarely see individual mistakes. You rarely see Arsenal get punished for silly goals. You know what I mean? To beat Arsenal, to score against Arsenal, you really have to do something very good, you know, most of the time. So when I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the way Inter just set up against City, well, Inter, by the way, their counter and they actually were playing out from the back still, despite playing in a low block. What Inzaghi did was amazing. I think I think Arsenal are going to play a deep block. I don't know if they're going to play out as well as Inter did in their moments, but they're going to show, keep it compact, keep it tight. It's very hard to break them down. And City, against these low blocks, against the top opposition, it's a struggle for them. You know what I mean? And naturally. But the thing is, I think, so when I look at Arsenal, as you said, Declan Rice is back. They might set up the same way they did against Spurs. It's not going to be as easy. I don't think they can. If you have 36 possession against City, you're playing with your chances there. You know what I mean? Spurs, whatever. But against City, it might be a bit difficult. So they're going to need to do a little bit better on the ball. Arteta said that as well. Like against Spurs, they weren't good enough on the ball. And obviously a set piece bailed them out. But I'm looking at City in the big games, right? Last season, they didn't have the greatest results in the big games. They actually only beat us and they beat Spurs, I think, in one game. Yeah, us and Spurs. And technically, we weren't even levels. Do you get where I'm coming from? Something about Man City in the big games against teams that sit back, I feel like they play too slow, bro. I think they play too slow, and I watched it again, and everyone walks away from these games and they'll be like, another big game, no Erling Haaland goal, see, he only bullies the small teams. But people need to actually look at the way City play. Like, Haaland relies on speed in anything he does. Speed of movement, speed in transition, speed everything, speed the way he gets shots off. And when you look at the way City play, it's very side to side and then pass. And it ends up the point where every team have the ability to set their defense again. Even in transition moments, in the big games, it's like City don't want to take that risk. So all of a sudden, the teams have all their players back, and now it's just Haaland standing with two centre-backs. Beasts, bro. They had two beasts at the back. Bastoni's a beast. Same thing that Arsenal are going to have with Saliba and Gabriel. Two guys just standing and he's just there. Then all of a sudden, you're looking at him and you're thinking, oh, limited player. Why, this is what he does. He can't score in the big games. But you look at the way they set up. The only way they're going to score is an inch perfect pass to Haaland. And that is small probabilities.
I agree. I think when I've watched City, when they've dominated games, even the games that, like, you know, they've been bailed out by, you know, Kevin De Bruyne, just finding that inch perfect pass, right? I believe that with City, they don't mind that to some aspect against a team like Arsenal, nullifying them in terms of them attacking them.
Yeah.
You know Arsenal are great defensively, right? But they do have the players to be able to find that pass, right? And they have lion's share of the possession. And I think Arteta will probably concede that.
Yeah.
Going toe-to-toe with them, trying to play football, I don't even think Arsenal have the players in the final third to play that way because Odegaard's injured. I don't think Martinelli is the best with that style of football as well. But I also think, with City, there's something about them that I think they'll look at this game and think, this isn't the be-all end-all for us. I think with Arsenal, it will be. I think Arteta has failed a few times when it comes to actually getting that win against Arsenal. They drew against City. Sorry, they drew against them last season, and in the grand scheme of things, them 2 points cost them. So my question to you is Arteta going into this game probably trying to change his game plan, looking at the game against Inter Milan and also the way they played against Spurs and go, this ain't good enough. We've got to be risky, especially this game. If City win, then they're 5 points ahead. If Arsenal lose, and they're 1 point ahead of Man City. Do you think he's going to change the way they play? Because if you look at the stats, the XG and all of that stuff, City are in favour.
Yeah, I don't think so, I don't think so. I mean, I understand what you're saying. If it was maybe March, February, maybe. But I think it's too early in the season for either team to overcommit. And I think we're going to get a cagey game that's going to be decided by one goal. Maybe that might be a 2-1, or that could be a 1-0, or it could even be a 0-0. I think it's going to be cagey. Both teams don't want to let too much go. Like, why lose to Arsenal 5th game in the season? Why lose to City 5th game in the season? I think Arteta will be looking at, he had Villa away, 1, Spurs away, 1. Walk away with a point against Arsenal, he's happy. You know what I mean? I think the only thing they need to do is be better on the counter. You know what I mean? At least offer a threat on the counter. Saka's got to try and punish on Vardy or whoever plays. Martinelli or Sterling if he plays. Sterling's got a few goals against City since he's left. Maybe he can be start or whatever and try and penetrate their defense, because City still need to have some pressure. Because once City start feeling there's nothing coming, they just keep going and going, and all of a sudden Rodri ends up in the box.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden he scored. You know what I mean? So they need to kind of make sure that they still have that threat going that way, because that's what Inter done. Even though Inter defended deep, they still made City think always that, listen, make a little mistake or lose the ball here, we're going. You know what I mean? When City start feeling it too much, then it becomes very, very peak. They get sides, they start drilling across the box, and it's tough. But I'm just looking at this game, and I feel like it's just going to be what they say, chess match. You know what I mean? They call it a chess match. Two teams with different styles in the game anyway, just struggling to break each other down. And I think that's just what it's going to be, man. I think we're going to walk away again. I said earlier in the week, until I saw the Inter game, and I was like, again, City are moving the ball slow and stuff, that I thought Haaland would get his goal. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, will he score? It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. Saliba and Gabriel are on form, and just the way City play in these games, it just doesn't suit him. But in the big games, by the way. But City could have won, by the way.
Yeah.
And Inter had a lot of chances.
Shit out of here.
I think that Erling Haaland,
Haaland's fault.
I think Erling Haaland, he ain't my type of striker, if I'm being honest. I don't enjoy that type of striker.
Yeah.
I really respect his goal scoring, and I think, like you said, when City are dominant, and there's so much passages of play, and it's very quick and it's nippy, as you said, then we see the best of Haaland. Haaland loves running off the last defender. He loves bullying, and I don't think he'll be able to do that there. And I think his strengths get nullified, and it makes people come up with these crazy things that he's not a great striker. But I think for Haaland, what I look at when I look at these games, and when games are tight, he needs to find something different. He's the focal point of that attack. He's the end product, and if he can only score when things are great or when they're dominating a team, it's going to be a question mark for City. However, I do believe that City have got so much great players. I also think, we spoke about Grealish before, right? I think Grealish, we saw how he plays against England, for England, When he plays like that and he's free to dribble, that creates space.
That's the thing.
And I think that obviously you can't tell a manager who's won it all to change the way he plays for a game like this, which is like the 5th game of the season, But I think that's the only way you can unlock.
So you want to see like Grealish in midfield?
I want to see him
left wing.
I don't want to see him there. Like Doku, is a scary player to play against, and 9 times out of 10 he will cause problems. His end product's always the issue, right? Grealish is better when he floats in.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne might be a doubt, so he might not play as well, and he just plays wherever he wants, really. But I'm looking at Haaland and I'm like, you're not going to have fun against these two. You need to try and, I don't know, go head to head with them or make runs, but there's no one else. He's like Doku, yeah. I've watched him and Haaland. I don't think they like each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
they like. I don't think
you don't like him, but I think he's confused at what he's gonna do.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know. I've made this run.
Yeah.
You've just chopped someone else again.
Yeah.
And got into problems.
It's the Ronaldo. It's the CR7 Van Nistelrooy thing.
Yeah.
Early, Van Nistelrooy did not like playing with Ronaldo because he was like, David Beckham will send the cross in immediately.
Yeah.
But Ronaldo, who looked like he's gonna send it, chop. Now Van Nistelrooy has to move it, chop again. And then next thing you know, the cross doesn't even come in, or the cross comes in and it's gone way away from where he is. So I think that is the case of Haaland. Even when I was looking at Savio yesterday, I think they're going to have that issue with Savio too.
Yeah.
As talented as Savio is, he's still unpredictable. Times where he could have slid the fullback in on the side or the person beside him, and he cuts in and he's trying to shoot. Like, he got the ball 3 times in a row and tried to shoot, and I'm like, bro, Haaland's not gonna want to feast off that. Do you know what I mean? So I think they'll have that issue, and I do agree, bro. Like, sometimes I think like, the way to beat low blocks is dribbling.
Yeah.
The way to beat is by committing men. And I do think Jack Grealish can do that. I think Foden nowadays, like, as good as Foden is for City, he just shoots too much a little bit. Not shoots too much, but I think his shooting
That's
is
crazy because there was that time where it was like we need him to take more shots on.
Yeah, not even shoots too much. Maybe that's the wrong word to say. But his first thought is shoot.
Yeah.
It's not create. It's turn and bang it. Do you get where I'm coming from? And against Arsenal, let's not be surprised to see City have about 10 shots outside the box. Yeah, I mean, Foden probably have like 5 of them if he starts, honestly.
Yeah.
So I just think they need to commit men a little bit more against a team like Arsenal. It's going to be tough.
But Arsenal now, like you said, they weren't as great as we've seen them over the past few seasons, but they did get the win. And for me personally, I felt like there was no firepower. It didn't look like they was going to score off against, apart from the set piece, right? Now, Saka is probably their most important player now that Odegaard's out, yeah? Do you reckon Raheem Sterling, it's time for to unleash Raheem Sterling?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, if you look at the way Chelsea played against City last season, Sterling got in behind their defence 4 or 5 times across those games, bro. I would actually play him, bro. I think he understands how to exploit City's defence, and that's not because he's played with them or anything.
That's just the way he plays.
Sterling has a much better awareness for attacking spaces than a Martinelli does. And Martinelli is decent at it, but Martinelli, he's a bit lost at the moment. But Sterling, I think he knows. And the thing is, I think it was Kyle Walker as well. I think he actually said Sterling's one of the hardest people he's ever played against. It's instantly, when you have that respect from someone, it's the same thing with like when Rashford plays Ben White. Ben White knows that's the toughest.
It's nightmares. It's nightmares. You remember?
He never plays well against him. It's like all of a sudden he just can't. It's all in the mind. You know, football's in the mind, bro. Yeah. So I think I would actually play Raheem, and Raheem Sterling cooked Raheem Sterling cooked Walker last season in the fixture. So I would start Sterling. Havertz, Sterling, and Saka. I would go for it. I think it gives you a better counter threat as well.
So what do you think? Because Trossard, there's been a lot of talk about he's better off the bench rather than starting. And in the Spurs game, I felt like I forgot he was playing for a moment of time. What position do you reckon he needs to play for Arsenal this season in order for them to get the best out of him? Because he definitely is a top player. Yeah. But when he starts for Arsenal, it just seems as if the game's taking him away.
Yeah, I think, obviously, if he's starting, I actually think starting maybe is the centre forward.
Yeah,
I think it's maybe centre forward. Yeah, man, because he's so good at like reacting where the cutbacks are going to be and just being in the. And obviously, if he gets a snapshot, he's a great finisher. I actually think it's there when he's starting. If it's off the bench, then the left wing is fine and stuff. But Trossard hasn't got pace anymore. He can dribble, but he doesn't really go and trying to rip man and stuff off the wing. So I think I would probably say centre forward, but then Kai Havertz is playing well there. That's the problem. Kai Havertz is playing well, so much so that Teta didn't even move Havertz, which he signed him as a midfielder, didn't even move him in midfield against Spurs. He kept Trossard there. So he has the faith of Arteta right now as the 9. So when you're looking at that, I'm like, Trossard's going to have to play midfield again. Against that City midfield, it's different to Spurs. It's not James Maddison.
Is Rodri back?
Yes, bro.
Did he play yesterday?
Yeah, he played yesterday, yeah. And he played well. But KDB might be injured, so maybe that's a bonus. But at the same time, Trossard in midfield against that midfield is going to be tough for Arsenal, bro. How do you think, like, in terms of obviously we watched the game. Gabriel didn't play. I mean, Martinelli didn't play too well. Gabriel did. Sorry, Saka didn't play too well. Nobody really that played too outstanding. Partey, Jorginho, obviously Rice.
I liked Jorginho against Spurs.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I just think his positioning is really good. I think sometimes, when like I think Partey sometimes he overcommits and he overplays, and that creates a movement for example, like Maddison to try and Bentancur to try. But I think Jorginho, just him being in the place, it stops so much. He's a very smart midfield player.
Yeah.
So much so that even when the game was done, Arteta came over to him and was giving him his flowers, because Jorginho's a good player. Very, very seasoned professional, and I think he understands that role really, really well. And I think when Arteta's probably looking at this, he's going to think, okay, we're probably not going to have a lot of possession, but we need to keep our midfield regimented. So I need to make sure that alongside Declan Rice, I have someone there. And I think he'll probably choose Jorginho over Partey if
you reckon? Oh, I think he'll stay with Partey, you know. I think he's going to go Partey and Rice.
I don't know. It probably would. I would prefer, just based off the game. Like, I think Partey in that game looked like a bit like a headless chicken a bit. And I think this is against a Spurs team, with all due respect. City ain't the ones that you need to be taking those risks with.
Yeah.
But yeah, you was going to ask me.
Yeah, I was going to say, so with Saliba and Gabriel, obviously we've seen many partnerships in the Premier League in terms of defensively. How do you see them, and where do you kind of, you don't have to give me an official ranking, but where do you see them in terms of the top partnerships in Premier League history that you've seen?
I think in recent times, they're probably the two best that I've seen in a very long while. And I'm talking about from the Rios and the Vidic and the Terry Carvalho, The only, obviously, people say they haven't won anything yet, but that's just because of what's going on with City right now. City are just such a powerhouse, but I really enjoy the way they play. I think they're two different type of defenders. I think Saliba is, I think he's better on the ball, but he knows how to read the game really well as well. But Gabriel just seems to have, he's an animal, he's a beast. He'll pop up and score goals. Like, I think they're a complete partnership. And I think over the next few years, if they stay together as a partnership, we could be having conversations about them not being the best, but being up there. I can't really rank them right now, but over the last maybe 5-10 years, I think they've been the best partnership I've seen. And
that's the thing, that's the best thing about it with them, when you look at it, is that you talk about them together. You know what I mean? As much as Saliba probably the higher rated one, I rate Saliba higher, but you talk about them together. And that was the same thing, like, as time has gone on, people kind of have given John Terry and Rio the clout over Carvalho and Vidic. But if you lived through their moments, it was very much who's better, who's better. It wasn't like living through their moments, especially in the first 2 seasons. It's because remember, Carvalho came off winning the Champions League at Porto. It wasn't like a conversation where John Terry's absolutely clear. Yes, he won the Player of the Year, but it was, you would always mention them together. And same with Rio and Vidic. Time has passed now, and people keep posting all these Vidic failed comps and stuff, but let's have it right. Vidic was levels with Rio them days.
Didn't he win Player of the Season twice?
Vidic was levels with Rio them days. So that's the thing. When you speak about these two, it's kind of similar in terms of you have to mention them together. Whereas, like, for example, you look at Liverpool, it was a lot of Van Dijk was getting a lot of the credit, because people say Trent defensively is not that great.
And Matip
was coming in, or Joe Gomez. So it was all kind of.
He was the mainstay. He was the mainstay.
It was given to Van Dijk, but that's what you want. You want two people to be spoken about collectively, man. That's what partnerships are. There's not enough focus for me in football anymore on partnerships. Partnerships is so important, bro. Centre midfield partnership. Obviously, back in the day, it used to be strike force partnership. Partnerships is what football is about, and Saliba and Gabriel are representing that so well, bro.
Ronaldo speaking about, or Rio asked him, like, when did you realise that it's time to change from dribbling to shooting? And he said it took time. He realised that you can't win things dribbling all the time, because defenders they're more aware these days. They understand how to nullify that.
Hear that.
Rashford's striking ability is second to none. And we've seen him at his most, like you said, his most efficient was when he was quote unquote playing as a striker. And he can like, the issue we have is that on the left hand side, Garnacho for me is, I like him there. Ahmad on the right, I love it, but we've got two strikers with Xerxes and Højlund. it would be a waste of money and resources to put Rashford up
But
there.
that's the thing.
But if you want to win things,
we've seen when Manchester United at best is when Marcus Rashford is at his best. Yeah, I mean he has that effect on the team. And now look, I'm not saying that Rashford can't do the wing thing no more. But one thing that we keep wanting is we're looking at Rashford and we're saying we want better performances from him on the wing. Get on the ball, take people on, create, but he's not doing that. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to him, but maybe that side of his game is gone. But one thing that Rashford can do is shoot. One thing that Rashford can do is he's sharp. Get him closer to goal. You've got a player that has scored 30 goals before in a season. Not many people can say that. 30 goals. We're talking about Bukayo Saka, Foden. They haven't scored 30 goals in a season. You know what I mean? He's scored 20-something in the seasons before as well. So he has an eye for goal. Get him closer to goal. All of this Rashford get on the ball and do a 50-yard ping down to Ahmad. Bro, no. I want Rashford now killing. I want him killing. And I think when he's playing up front, yes, he can fade through games. And which we saw even when he was in this form. He was fading through games sometimes. But he was always getting on the end of things. He was scoring. He was a threat. I honestly think, like, in 2024, I think he's more productive and effective as a striker than he is as a winger. Young Rash, before the back injuries, he'll take you on, he'll excite you, but now it looks like he's not got that same level of burst. I actually think up front, I saw him against, I know it's Barnsley, Palace would be a completely different thing. We're probably not going to play him up front anyway. But against, just looks freer. He was probably up on the right, he was probably up on the left, he was up top. I don't know. I just think he's a better striker.
That's not crazy.
Days,
for me personally, that's not a crazy take because, as you said, I think when Rashford's one-on-one on goal or when he's kicked the ball past someone, like I remember the goal he scored against Arsenal at the Emirates last season. That was Rashford. That was Rashford doing what he's best at, and I think we've got to give him that freedom to be the best that he can be. I think he's got his confidence back now. Let's not stop it now by putting him back in a position that he's probably struggled in. And like you said, I know Rashford's got he can ping a ball, but I don't want to see that. You're right. I want to see him scoring goals.
Bagging.
Yeah, I want to see him scoring goals because that does a lot for confidence.
Yeah, I mean, like sorry, bro. Like, imagine, like I know he's always been a winger, right? Salah. So maybe it's not a great example, but imagine like Salah just tomorrow just saying, I want to play somewhere else, and you're thinking, brother, like you this inside forward thing is what you are, and Salah just saying, nah, do you know what? I want to play on the left or something, and control the game. You'll be like, bro, Salah, you're good, but bro, the best thing for you is bagging. You know what I mean? And that's what I think with Rashford. I don't think Rashford gives you performances enough for me to say it subsides him not scoring. You see Hazard, David Silvers, or them type of players, they don't have to score, but they can give you a great game, 10 out of 10. Rashford's not one of them. Rashford, for a great game, he has to score on assist. He is the reality. I don't think it's one of them ones where, performance is over his effectiveness. No, I think Rashford needs to be an effective player. Rashford needs to be a GA player. That's where you get the best of Marcus Rashford, bro. So, yeah, that's my take on it anyway. I think that's where he should be playing.
Do we win against Palace?
We got battered 4-0 there last time. I was at that game. Yeah, and
I remember that. I think you was close to tears that day.
Bruv, 4-0. So Palace away. This is a big test. This is a big test, bro. You actually learn more about us in these games than you do in the big games, bro.
Yeah.
This is a big one, and our away record is terrible. Do United win?
The fact that you're thinking about
5:30 as well.
I think United at 12:30, United at 5:30, it's horror, man. They've had too much steak, and then their belly's just heavy. It's just a myth. But
back to being dark at around 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And Selhurst Park ain't an easy stadium to go to,
man.
You know, like even to play in.
Yeah,
I play there.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah. You know, I guess.
I'm gonna be patriotic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be tribal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for
top
2-1.
red, Man United red, right?
Nah, I've dropped that gimmick.
Okay. Was it a gimmick then?
I mean, nah, it became a gimmick after a while. You know, after the Liverpool, sorry, mate.
I know. We saw through you. Yeah. We saw through you.
2-1.
2-1 United.
I'm gonna go for it.
All right. Well, there's a player. No, don't ask me. No, generally, I'm always positive in it with United, innit? I'm always positive, but I just feel like, how can we go from winning 3-0, not conceding, winning 7-0, not conceding, and then just fuck it up again? So for me, I think, yes, Man United will win. I think it will be very tight. I think we'll win 1-0. I think it will be a 1-0. I think we'll probably defend as much as we can. I think De Ligt showed a lot of positives as well. I really, really like him as a defender. Like I said, on the ball, I don't think he's the greatest, but that's not what I want you for. I want you to just literally be a powerhouse in defence and just nullify anything that comes your way, and he did that. Scored a goal as well, so he's got a good eye for goal, especially being in the right place. Could have got two.
He scores goals every season.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got a good record.
No, he's got a good record. So I think if him and Martinez, if they can just build that relationship, make it stronger, then yeah. But I think we'll win that game 1-0. But there's a player that you mentioned last season when we was doing our rankings about being world class.
Yeah.
And I said to you, it's too soon. I said, there's no way this player can be that. Definitely we can see it, but I don't think so. And I'm here to say you was right. Lamine Yamal. Now, you and Leah spoke about him, about how great he's been under Hansi Flick, but I've seen it with my own eyes, not only in the Euros, but the start of this season. This kid is something special. I don't know if we've seen anything like this at such a young age, being able to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And the team is basically relying on him, whether or not it's Spain, whether or not it's Barcelona, yeah? What did you see when you mentioned that he was a top player? And how good does it feel to know that whatever you saw is actually now coming into fruition?
You know what? It's just maturity, bro. It's the touches, and as I said, the maturity, the confidence. Gets on the ball, he knows what he wants to do. He doesn't take long to make decisions. As soon as he gets it, I'm trying to beat the fullback. I'm trying to be a problem. I'm trying to be a threat. And the thing is, this is the difference when you see some talents, right? Yes, everyone's you can have a great football talent base, which he has. There's pretty much nothing that he can't really do. But it's about, have you got the IQ to go with it? If you have high IQ at such a young age, you're a special player most of the time. You look at someone like Dembele, all the talent in the world, still hasn't put it together. Just the other day, he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Took so long, the defender ended up tackling him one-on-one. Like it was unbelievable. So when you look at Yamal, he doesn't waste time like that. Instantly knows what he wants to do. The mind is just set. And that's when I was like, okay, you're 16 and you have this already. Cool. Because as I said, we've seen young players come and rip man and whatever, but it's about you also have the end product with it. When you can also have the end product with it at that young age, then you know he's going to the top, and you're looking at the passes that he can do. Then when I learned more about him as well was in the Euros, is that I always say with the wingers, all right, cool, you can dominate your flank, you can dominate your fullback, but when you can start coming inside the pitch and being a problem, you're well above your age, bro.
I found him finding himself in different positions.
And he was in the 10 position.
And he had the
sometimes.
freedom to do so.
And he was, we were at the Euro final.
Yeah.
Every time he got the ball,
it was scary.
Everyone stood.
It was scary.
It was like,
scary.
No, that's the reality. And he got the assist in the final as well. So when I look at Yamal, I just think the maturity levels of him is what sets him apart. And I was like, that's what I said. That's what I brought it up today. Like, that's what I wanted to ask you about young players. Now, I'm not saying that he's the greatest young player we've ever seen, but in terms of the young players that you've seen in football, like, where do you see him, and who are the best young players? Who are the best young talents that Harry Pinero has watched with his own eyes?
Wow. I think Kylian Mbappe. When I first saw Kylian Mbappe at Monaco, I just thought, okay, he's here to control football. I think when I look at young players, one thing that really draws me towards them is how fearless they are. How risky they are with the way they play, the audacity of going up against your seniors and embarrassing them, and making sure that, and then just having the freedom to do what they want. And Mbappe, for me, embodied that. I think obviously Lionel Messi, that was I think he's probably the poster boy of a teenager absolutely taking the world by storm.
When you watched Messi at 18, 17, okay, let's see when he scored the goal from Ronaldinho.
The assist,
Did you think you're watching a potential GOAT, though? GOAT is exaggerated. Did you think you're potentially watching an era-defining player?
No. I saw him and I thought, okay, this player, he looks very shy. He doesn't say much, but on the pitch, he's just ridiculously good, right? And I felt like he was being babied by the Barcelona players that were the seniors to say, look, go and do it. Go and do it. And he started to believe as time goes on. when I saw Mbappe,
Yeah.
Mbappe had
Gave you that
aura.
feels,
He
yeah.
had the aura of,
Yeah.
of that player, and I think Messi he doesn't have the aura. His football is the aura. So I think it was very different, yeah. But one of my favorite players isn't someone who generally I felt like some people forget about was Michael Owen, because I saw that live. I saw it happening with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Was the fact that you've gone to a World Cup and you've taken you took that
Yeah.
game, that Argentina game.
You
yeah.
watched the 98 World Cup?
Yeah, I was there.
Damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I watched that in its entirety, and to this day, apart from the 2022 Qatar World Cup, that's my favorite World Cup.
So,
Yeah, some of the best players ever to play the game were in that, like in their prime. Zidane, R9. Do you know what I'm trying to
Thuram
say?
and all this,
Bergkamp, like these were. This is when I fell in love with football.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit of nostalgia there.
for
That's
sure.
that's got me there. But the likes of like Michael Owen, these players at a young age were just having fun.
Yeah.
I like when I see players destroy players, yeah, but then have a smile on their face. I remember that celebration that he did.
Yeah.
Like he's enjoying he's enjoying his game, and I think with Lamine, like the trajectory, like what he's doing already, and you mentioned it, like I said when you spoke to Leah, is about how amazing he is, but then Barca are based around him already. That shows you that he is the future. So he would them guys would be mad. I didn't get to see like R9 when he was a teenager.
it looks.
But what I saw, I mean, I don't think we've seen anything like that.
Yeah.
But what about you? Who would you say?
You know, I think obviously I've seen all the clips of Owen and stuff. His teenage days was just before me. You know what I'm trying to say? But when I look at, you know what? I think one that gets overlooked and doesn't get spoken about enough is because we always speak about Messi. We always speak about Owen. They always speak about Mbappe. But I think one that doesn't get spoken about is Neymar.
Oh.
I actually think Neymar, I think because it was in Brazil, but what he was doing, you knew a storm is coming.
Yep.
Bro. Like, there was always these YouTube gimmicks, like, that you used to see growing up. Like, we used to see all these YouTube gimmicks, like Hachim Mastor. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And, like, you know, Pastore and all these type of guys that we used to, Lucas Moura. We used to see all these guys.
Lucas Moura
on,
was dirty. Bro.
Yeah, we used to see all
Dirty.
these like guys. But there was something different about Neymar, bro. He was making us go on YouTube to watch Brazilian football, bro. Come on, bro. When did I used to type in like Santos,
yeah.
just to watch this Neymar because people
He's Mohican.
Mohican. You're just thinking.
Was it a
nah.
mullet or a Mohican?
Yeah, it was like a mixture, but I
yeah.
don't even know. But the guy was on. He had the little. Remember, he used to put the tape on his nose.
Yeah.
Neymar just had this look about him, and then you just saw the ability, and you started seeing them talk about next Pele, next this. But we had heard that about Robinho, next Pele, which he looks ridiculous as well. But Neymar's just something was a different feel. I remember Joey Barton making a legendary tweet about him saying, Justin Bieber of football. He's a YouTube player or something like that. And then I remember he played against Scotland. This was the first time we got to see him on like English soil or on our TVs properly, and he destroyed Scotland. And it was just from there, he was like, this guy's going to be different. The flicks, the tricks, the legendary game against Flamengo, him versus Ronaldinho.
Oh, beautiful game. They scored so much goals individually as well.
They call it the best game never shown.
Yeah.
The best game you've never seen. Like, honestly, if anyone's on YouTube, go and watch that
it was
game.
a great
It's so
game.
good. But like Neymar, I just think in terms of talent, you know, we're talking about what guys have done, and even though Neymar is doing a lot, in terms of what guys have done, we talk about this, but in terms of just seeing a talent where you're like, hold on a second, let me just take a sit back. That's Neymar for me. Because Mbappe, mad talent, but it's a lot about what he done. He scored goals, he's fit. But Neymar's just pure football, raw ability.
I think you're right. When we talk about the enjoyment of the game that we love, I think Ronaldinho is the one that we speak about. Like, I enjoyed watching Ronaldinho play. He didn't even need to score a goal. It was just, what's he gonna do next? What's he gonna do next? And I got that same feeling from Neymar. But then also, what made Neymar such a top world-class player was that what he did, the effectiveness. When he went to Europe and he went to Barcelona, we saw that he is not just a YouTube player. He's him.
Yeah.
And I think when you compare like a lot of Brazilian players that are top players in their country, when they go to Europe, things change. We look at Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
I saw the YouTube comps of him and I thought,
Ganso.
Yeah, Ganso. Bro, that one hurts a lot of people. If you're a pure football fan, you know Ganso was that we thought it was him and Neymar that was going to come and take over.
It was, I thought it was like new Kaká, Ronaldinho.
Yeah,
type.
like it was that. But Neymar is someone that I think is super disrespected, and it takes for people that
It's you that went viral disrespecting him, pal.
Disrespecting him.
Yeah, man. When you, oh no, you were the one supporting him.
Put your hand up.
Yeah.
I said, bro, like
I forgot you said Neymar over Ronaldinho.
yeah, I just preferred Neymar. Like genuinely, I love Ronaldinho with my heart, but Neymar for me, I enjoyed like everything about him as a football player.
Yeah.
And he's fair. Also, honourable mention,
Yeah.
your good friend Wayne Rooney.
Man, pal.
Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, Wazza.
Like he was a 35-year-old player at 18.
Yeah.
Like he had aura, audacity, and we always speak about like that goal against Arsenal. That was a catalyst for his career to then become the player that he was. But he also embodied that I don't care who you are, I will disrespect you and I'll show you that I'm here to stay.
And this is the thing. You look at every young player that we've mentioned: R9, Rooney,
CR7
Messi,
even, bro.
CR7. CR7s is a little bit different because I think
It was a
CR7,
slow burner.
Yeah, because CR7 still very early was struggling with his decision making and stuff. So his is just Ronaldo is a special case in football, bro. Like he's like an example. Is an exception to many rules. Yeah, I mean he's just a fake guy in his own way. But you talk about these guys like Messi, Rooney, Yamal, Mbappe, whoever, all the guys that we said, Neymar. They just had this level of correct decision making so early in their career. So early, bro. Like Foden didn't have that. Saka, all these guys that we talk about now, they're developing. But these man just came through, and it's like, even though their build, maybe I said on Wayne Rooney, maybe their build isn't like a 30-year-old, but their mind is like a 30-year-old, bro. And that is what sets it apart. Ronaldo, crazy talent, Euros team of the tournament at 18 and stuff. But he was still frustrating. We all know that. Me and you lived through Cristiano as a teenager, bro. He was frustrating. And then he ended up getting it together. But these man, they just walk into the game as if they've been here 10
No
years
nerves
already.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
mad.
see it. So, Cams, I've got a little test for you.
Aye.
Now, this one here, I believe that you should do really, really well.
I overslept.
Okay. So what I'm thinking to do, because I feel like this would be very easy for you, I'm thinking I might change the question as we go along. But can you name the top 10 players with the most assists in Premier League history?
Wow.
The top 10 players with the most assists in Premier League history.
Okay.
Your time starts now.
Okay, Giggs,
Yep, Giggs is number 1.
Rooney,
Hold on. Wait for me. Wayne Rooney is number 4.
Fabregas,
Fabregas is number 3.
yeah, KDB, number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Dennis Bergkamp,
Number 6.
yeah. Frank Lampard,
Number 5.
yeah. Is it James Milner?
Number 9.
Yeah. Then most assists, David Beckham.
Number 10.
Yeah. So I've got 2 more.
Yep.
Okay. Thierry Henry.
No.
No. Okay.
He's number 13.
Oh. So who was number? I said number 9, right?
Number
what was
9
the number
is
of James Milner's number 9?
89.
89. So it's 90 plus. Wow. 9. Steven Gerrard.
That's number 8.
Oh yes. Oh, number 7. David Silva.
That is correct. 10
Come on!
out of 10. 10 out of 10.
go.
All right, so
Let's go.
you've completed that.
Yes.
This is a bonus, all right?
Okay.
Now, you already said Thierry Henry was number 13. Can you do a top 20?
Whoa.
Now, you've won this already.
Yeah, okay.
But can you do a top 20 knowing that Thierry Henry is number 13 with 74?
And number 10 was
David Beckham
with 80.
80. So it's 80 and below.
Okay, 80 and below. Okay. To top 20, you said?
Yeah.
Riyad Mahrez?
No.
Okay. Okay, Eric Cantona.
No.
No. He got like 90 assists. Okay. Trent.
No. So I'm going to give you a clue. Majority of these players are no longer playing.
Are they in the 90s or are they in the 2000s?
Mixture. Only 1, 2, and 3 are still playing.
1, 2, and Okay, Raheem Sterling.
No.
Okay, wow. And Henry's 13 with 74.
74, yeah. I should have done top 20 because I knew you would smash the 10, but I
Yeah.
thought, you know what, let me just make it a bit difficult. You have 2 more minutes left.
Okay,
So far, you've got 11 out of 20.
okay, so you got thingy on that.
I'll give you one more.
Salah.
Yes,
Okay.
Salah is 16th
Hazard.
with 69. No,
Oh my goodness, bro. Salah 16 with 69.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's 2 more players that are currently playing.
Currently playing. Wow. And they're in the Premier League right now.
Yeah.
So I gotta think about the top players now. Are they top players like right now?
I wouldn't say top players, but distinguished players.
Okay. Andrew Robertson?
No.
My goodness, bro.
I'll give you another clue. Think of them. They're strikers. A lot of them are strikers.
I thought they might be. Okay, Robin Van Persie.
No.
Wow, he's not one of them. Is Andy Cole in there?
Yes, he is. He's
Yes,
14th
yes,
with
Andy
73.
Cole. Yeah, okay. Andy Cole, and then and you said there's strikers. Strikers. It's not Kun Aguero, it's not there, is
Nah.
it?
30 seconds.
Cristiano's not there?
No.
Oh yeah, this is tough. Sadio Mane?
No.
Oh yeah, fuck about. This is 20. Giroud.
No.
Oh my lord. Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham's
Thank you.
11th.
Yeah, okay, Teddy
But he's
Sheringham.
joint 11th.
Joint 11th with another striker.
No.
He's joint 11th with
And that is time.
Ashley Young.
Ashley Young is 15th.
Wait, hold on. Let me claw it back, man. Let me claw it
Okay,
back.
go on, go on.
Ashley
So,
Young. Okay.
so you've currently got 11, 12,
Yeah.
13, 14.
So I need 6 more.
Yeah.
Give me 2 more minutes. Give me 1 more minute.
No,
One
no,
more.
that doesn't work that way.
20. Get to 20.
Ding, and
Oh, my
ding.
days.
In all fairness, Cams,
Yeah.
you've done incredibly well
Yeah.
because you've got 15 out of 20.
So who's left?
So Christian Eriksen is joint 11th with Teddy Sheringham.
Ericsson.
Darren Anderton,
Oh, no.
Gareth Barry,
I was going to say Barry, but I just thought,
Alan Shearer,
damn.
and Matt Letizia.
Ah.
So yeah,
Yeah, Darren Anderton, I wouldn't have got all 20 then. He would have slipped my mind.
162 assists for Ryan Giggs is
Yeah,
mental.
I know.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We want to say thank you, actually, because we've
Yeah.
just hit 20K subscribers as well. This channel is obviously a slow burner, but every single person that likes, comments, that listens, we all appreciate you guys to keep the support going. Yeah, I've been Harry Panera, it's been Coach Camps, the Inside Scoop. See you next time.
Right, we're talking about the Premier League overrated 11. Only a few games into the Premier League season, but I think we've got some big shouts for who are completely overrated with football fans in the Premier League. Lads, let's start off in goal.
Goal.
Let's go.
We all know who it
I've
is.
got Emi Martinez.
What? Oh,
And that's
Why is that?
Well, that reaction tells me everything I need to know.
No,
He's a good goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper, but people seem to go like he's the best goalie in the world. He won the World Cup. Winning the World Cup don't make you the best footballer in your position. It doesn't.
It doesn't. It
And
doesn't.
he had a blunder. He should have saved that shot against Arsenal. Should have saved that.
But
Damn,
one
the
moment,
post.
one
And I
moment
also
isn't
think-
someone to
Listen, I rate he's a shithouse, and I'll rate that about him. But he's not for me the best goalkeeper in the world. And Aston Villa, huge.
I don't think
football
anyone
club.
thinks he's the
But no
best
one
keeper in the
calls
world.
him the best
No one ever
goalkeeper.
says he's the best keeper in the
Oh,
world.
they do. They do. Villa fans,
It was Alisson.
Argentinians.
Alisson's had that on lock for 5 years. I've never heard a single
Yeah,
football
No, I
fan
agree,
ever.
but like
not
he's
even
up there.
City fans
He's in
think
the
Ederson's better than
obviously
Alisson.
Alisson
Do you know what it
gets
is with
more shouts for
Martinez?
that, but-
Because he left Arsenal and because we had him for like 10 years as just somebody at the club. And when he left our club, he elevated and was like, oh my God, this guy is actually very, very good. That's why people rate him. It's not because we don't overrate him and thinking, oh, he's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. He's a very, very good keeper. Like, you would love him at your club. He's a very good keeper. He's
Miles,
solid
you're
keeper.
level-headed. I've always said that about you. But a lot of people say that Martinez is like one of the best in the world, and for me, I don't see it.
Fair enough. What about you, mate?
there's only one answer here, boys. It's
Look at
Benzema.
Copa America.
100%.
Only-
Yes.
But he's not rated.
Of course he's overrated.
United fans gassed this guy up.
can't save anything.
God, do you know why he was brought him in? Ten Hag said we brought him for a new system. He could play at the back. He's gonna evolutionize our back four. We're gonna knock the ball about. We're gonna play at the back. What's he done? He kicks.
But they don't
He's very
do
good
that.
at kicking.
They don't do
Is he
that.
very good at
Exactly,
kicking?
they don't do that. But he.
Man United fans do, bro. Speak to Adam McCullough.
Yeah,
speak
they
to
gas
Levanos on the
United
stream.
fans, but
You talk about saves that Arsenal that.
Oh, I agree with you though.
Look at-
I agree
look at
with you in
this-
that
the
he
goal
can't
against
save
the other
anything.
day.
But I
Made
don't
the
think he's
most saves
rated.
last season.
Against Liverpool, his positioning was he was on the other side of the goal. He does this.
Artur Boric used to make the most saves because he was getting battered every week.
But who's
Who's
rating
as
him?
well?
Bro,
Who's
he makes
rating
loads
Onana?
of mistakes though.
I
No,
think when he
was
joined,
rated.
He's not better than Boric.
I think when he joined, he was definitely
Just came from
not
Inter
now.
Milan. He just came
but
from
not now.
You're right about
Champions
that.
League
You're right about
final.
Yeah, but
Bravo was.
Yeah, but this is a year
He
ago.
was. He
But
was.
Guardiola even mentioned in one of his press conferences, we're going to watch out about Onana with his
Yeah.
kicking.
Yeah.
And he
That's-
was
that's-
good. And he was great
But
for Milan.
it's
That's
not.
Pep
Does
playing
that not
high
show you
IQ. He's
does
like,
that
you're
not
not
show you
going to
that
get them to be
actually
terrible.
it's United's problem?
No, but it's overrated though. Maybe he wasn't that good.
Okay.
The best
He's not- he ain't
example, I
been that
think, the
good.
best example from the weekend is when Salah taps that in first time for the third goal for Liverpool. You only hit that opportunity when you know the keeper is flapping at everything. There's no way that goal should be going in, but we just expect it now. Anything on target. It reminds me so much of Kepa for Chelsea, for Bravo at Man City. He's absolute
last-
rubbish.
Kepa for Bournemouth.
Look at
actually.
look at last season for Onana. He arguably, no, I wouldn't even say arguably. He single-handedly knocked Man United out of the Champions League.
Yeah, it was the work.
Yeah,
those
it was
Galatasaray.
awful
Yeah, and from that moment, everyone went, "This guy's terrible."
Except Man United
But
fans.
he was.
And there's
he
hundreds
was
of millions of
rated.
them.
I do rate
unfortunately.
though. I do rate that at the start of the season, he went United fans. By the way, I'm going to be even more riskier this year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Terrible
bro.
PR,
Like, when he
terrible.
came, he was up there.
He
Like,
wa- when he
Inter
came, he
Milan,
was.
he was up there, bro. He's
Who's yours,
one of the
mate?
best.
Mine is Edison. Mainly because I think a lot of people, but I think a lot of people,
I'm gonna
I think a lot
cry.
of people think he's
I'm
one of the best.
crying.
I think a lot of people think
I
he's
need
one of the best
Kleenex.
keepers in the league, and I actually think he is amazing.
Okay.
He's
holding it in, Mark.
amazing with playing
Pickford,
out the
bro.
back. He
Pickford's
is-
the fucking
shot
one on this
ability
shit.
is actually quite mediocre.
It's in their fucking
Concedes
face.
a
They
lot
can't
of
even
poor
say it.
goals. He really does.
Pickford
I
no
always
hacen
think
nada,
a
bro.
few years ago,
Lleva
one
como
against Spurs,
fucking
where on the counter attack, 30 yards
15
out,
goals
just
right
around
now.
him. He concedes a lot of
Fucking
poor
Pickford's
goals.
the main fucking
Ball
one,
at
bro.
feet, and he's perfect for Man City's
See your
system. He
fucking
really is.
face.
I don't think you should have sold him to
That's
Saudi
overrated
because
as
he's
hell.
fine, and your defense is really
Go
good,
get water.
but his shot stopping ability is actually really good.
But I think I just think the overrated thing is like I think he's just perfectly rated by football fans, and I don't think there's a single Man City fan would take him over Alisson in a kind of a neutral situation. For Guardiola, Edison is still ahead of Alisson, but I still think to win the amount that you've won, to maintain, Guardiola is meticulous with trying to get the best player in every position.
Yeah.
He would have been replaced by now if he was as bad as you kind of suggested.
Hey,
but I respect your
I think
opinion
your
about
defense
it.
is so good it doesn't become.
I don't think he's overrated.
Otamendi was ahead of him, and Mangala at points. And, do you know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think he's overrated. I think he's a good keeper.
He's
I
a
don't
good
think he's
keeper,
overrated.
man.
He's
But
not-
He came in.
I think you're right.
When
Could
he
be better.
came in, he came in after. Was it
Bravo.
Yeah.
So like there was always going to be a good
But
improvement.
then,
he's so good
if
with
you
his
come
feet.
in and then you have one of the best defenses in Premier League history and get 100 points in your first season as a keeper, and he was a massive part of that. That's
But I think
your
your defense
keeper for 100
your
points
defense
season.
was also fantastic. Like, and it's
Otamendi.
actually, if anything, I do think his shot stopping ability has got worse as he's been at City.
I think he loses focus a lot.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And Ortega's kept us in the Premier League title
Yeah.
race last season, not
Yeah,
Edison.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I do
yeah.
agree with you on some level. But we've moved on to right backs now. I have to go with Delo. I'll just do it really quickly. I think he's just average. My issue with Man United have a lot of great PR. They have a lot of fans that kind of tweet and YouTube channels, certain big ones in particular. They gas this guy up massively, man. Delo,
Yeah,
I
but
think he's just bang average.
I like
Dalot.
Dalot. I like Dalot.
I'm not gonna lie, I think he's a good right back.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right.
I think he's a good right back. I like Dalot. If he gets forward,
I think he's
a
one of their
flying wing
better
back.
players.
Yeah, he's good. He's creative. He's not that bad defensively. He's fast. He's intelligent. He's switched on more time. I don't think he's a bad right back at all. To be
No,
fair.
I don't.
I
Has,
actually think he's decent.
has anyone got Kyle Walker? Because that's my right back in this.
He's my
team.
left back. I couldn't.
I'm
find
sorry
one.
to say this, yeah. He's your,
he's
your
my
left
left
back. He's your left back.
Yeah. I think he was in my back line.
Yeah,
you
he
agree,
would be
Miles,
overrated
though?
if he was at left back. He'd
Yeah.
be very
Yeah,
overrated.
it would be right there. But do you agree the football has left him?
Yeah.
It seems
When?
like it's done. But Euros. The reason we aren't
think it's
European
so unfair,
champions is
John.
because of Kyle Walker.
So unfair.
Oh, booby.
What's going on?
Nico Williams is like 12 years old and had him cooked. Both goals down that
Nico
left-hand
Williams
side.
beat a lot of people,
Who
man.
cares?
Carl Walker have a
but
good
Carl
game.
Walker's
No.
exactly. Nico Williams tears apart a lot of fullbacks, right? That's not my issue.
Probably
Kyle Walker is in
his
how
recovery
much
speed.
the best. He could pocket Mbappe. Couldn't pocket Nico Williams. Both goals come down that side.
Carl Walker's
Rico
only there.
Lewis will play more games for you this season than Kyle Walker.
Because Carl Walker's 34 and he's achieved everything in the sport. He's the best right back in Premier League
Yeah,
history.
but that's what I'm
Most
saying.
of
People
these.
still calling for him.
Arguably.
People are still calling for him to be starting for England. He's still everyone. I don't.
The biggest
think,
testament to
your
Kyle
own
Walker
fan
is
base
in an
doesn't want
era
Kyle Walker.
of Reece James, an era of Trent, an era of Trippier, that he's always been the right back and he's been absolutely excellent. He's taken England to 2 finals, more than double than Gary Neville. Yes, he got cooked by Nico Williams. I think it's tactical based on the fact that we're playing a back 5. Saka was in no man's land and didn't double up on Williams.
No, I don't play Saka. It's got nothing to do with
No,
Saka.
it's not Saka's fault.
Shouldn't-
When that goal
It's got
went
nothing to
in,
do with Saka.
it was
All you do
Southgate's
is sit here and
fault.
say
We lost
Trent
that game
goes
to
to the
Southgate.
back.
Kyle
No, you
Walker.
sit here and say Trent can't play there because he can't defend, he can't do this.
I never said that.
Your boy cost us a European Championship.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
Southgate
he did.
If you don't understand football,
What do you mean
don't understand
Southgate did? He
football
played the best defensive. He played the best defensive right back we had, and he
played
got
a back
cooked.
5, and he didn't coach Saka to come in nice and flat and create a back 5, and we got overloaded on the right. He started a back 5, and there weren't 5 defenders when we conceded the
Do you
second
think
goal.
Carl Walker's actually a good defender, or do you think it's his recovery pace?
No, it's such a limited.
He's been
I'm
doing
not
that
going
his
to
whole
disagree.
career.
If you think he's overrated, of course, but he is such a limiting view. There's a reason that he's at least the second best defender in Premier League history for almost every football fan going, because he is a very good defender. He's good on the ball. He's a leader.
I don't think
he's
he's
won
that great on the
everything in
ball.
the sport. He's won everything in the
He's
Premier League.
movie again. Like this is an
He's good,
overrated
though.
list. He's amazing. He has been amazing. But my point is now, 2024, 2025, he's done at the top level.
But
he's
define done. He plays 20 games this season.
Define done is
25 games.
define done in this context is he is the best. Right, this is the concept. He's the best fullback in the world. Right, he's not. He's not the best right back in the world anymore.
But no City
And
fans saying that.
I think other fans.
And as a world,
think
he starts
is.
25 games a season.
How
We
many
win the
England
Premier
fans
League and
wanted
again.
Kyle Walker over Trent because Trent can't defend, and then we
Yeah.
can see 2 goals down Walker's side to
He
cost
was
us the
fantastic all tournament. I think it's really short-sighted to criticise him when
he
he got to
was-
another final.
he wasn't
Carl
great
Walker
all
was part of
tournament.
it in
The first goal they
2021.
conceded,
He was part of
was
it.
'cause of- was 'cause
He
of
had a
Trent.
good tournament.
It's 'cause
Why
of
did he get
Walker.
replaced then? He played every game at right back,
But
and he was
Southgate's
very, very
favourites.
good throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
He was. He was. He cost us against Nico Williams, of course he did. But
Not
I
even
can't
Nico
sit
Williams
here
in the
and say
group
Carl
stages.
Walker's
One of the
overrated.
goals they
He was
conceded
poor,
was
he was
backstick
poor.
because of Walker.
Who's
I think
everyone else anyway?
Let's move on.
Mine was Trippier. Just because I didn't think he was good from like January. And
Yeah.
he played for England at left back. I don't think that should have been the idea.
Oh yeah, that's my left back. Man. I'll take Trippier.
Could be I think that's the argument because he played at left back for England
But
so many
even
times.
even when even when Newcastle had Livramento there, and I know Livramento was injured for a decent period. I just think Livramento adds a little bit more. Like I think there is, and I think Newcastle has realised it this season.
Yeah.
Like it's time to move on from Kieran Trippier, and we've seen him retire from England as well since.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Anyone else?
Mine's Gusto from Chelsea.
I don't like him.
What?
One of the Fulham players got injured and he posted it on the story celebrating over him.
Okay, so that's very different. That's personal.
I just don't like him.
I think Gusto is a very good right back, but I just feel the way how Chelsea fans just overtalk him sometimes.
He was our second best player last.
And they just put him in, yeah, that's for you. And they put him in conversations with other right backs where he doesn't even deserve to be there. He's Ben White,
Okay.
Trent, Carl Walker. They're
Is he top 5 in the league?
I think last season he was top 5 in the league. Yeah. Like who else? You've named 3 there. I agree.
No, but I'm saying
Who
no.
else?
But he was just last season. I heard a lot of him in those
agree with
conversations that he's better than certain right backs, and I'm like, this guy just can't.
Maybe there's a world
only
that
because the
gassed him up a
standard
bit
has
too much.
Okay.
dropped.
To be fair, maybe I need to hear this, but I haven't. I wouldn't.
I just
put
think
him
he's overrated.
above,
I think he's
Ben.
good.
Also, very different players. Like Ben White's
Yeah,
much more of a defender. Trent maybe is a bit more of an argument to say they're a bit more similar, but I'd say still you take Trent over him every day of the week. And I think the biggest thing is if there's a fit Reece James goes ahead of him. Like, and he's
I'm just saying, from what I've been
he's
hearing
someone
last
to
season,
He's a
like,
solid player.
there was a
man.
lot. No, he's a good player, Gusto.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that he was getting overrated a lot.
only 20 million quid, man.
Yeah, and it's a good deal as well.
But he's good.
One of
But he's not there yet.
What about centre-back partnerships? Let's just do 2 together. So 2 centre-backs, what are we saying?
I like mine. I've got Lisandro Martinez, which I'm sure a few
Same.
people have, because I've just seen him get absolutely bodied again. But he's just not up. He's not good enough to be Manchester United's league-winning centre back. Not big enough. And then kind of controversial one is Mark Gay. And based
What are you
off-
based on that?
What?
Based- I actually think again a lot of these
Bro,
players
this
are
is-
good.
do you
Mark
watch
Gay's a
football?
brilliant footballer. I do really like him, but 70 million.
Bro,
He's
es el único que está
70
haciendo
million
algo
Van Dijk, man.
en esa Euro,
He moved.
maldita de Inglaterra, que no hicieron
We're
nada.
not talking about terrible players, are we? We're
But
talking
he's
about
one
good.
of those, it's one of
Mark
those
Gay,
things where he's 70 million to Palace.
Yeah, but he wasn't even fancied that much at the end of last season under the new manager. Like, he was benched a lot, and I don't.
Did you watch the
I
Euro?
think he's great.
Did you watch
I just
the
don't think
Euro?
He's 70
I
million
think
pounds.
the Euros boosted.
And that's what makes him
England's-
overrated.
England's best player.
And he had a brilliant Euros, but again,
He's
that's
their
put
best
him on
player,
that
he's their best
overrated
player.
height for me.
If you get to a final of the Euros for England, that puts you in a really rare category of England players ever. He's got a better England career than John Terry.
He was great, but that's what, 7 games?
No, he does.
On the technicality, yeah, you're not
does.
wrong. You're not
He
wrong.
does.
Can't argue.
I do see it.
I think he does get a little bit, like last season especially. He was not anywhere near a 70 million pound centre back, and the Euros definitely boosted him up. But he is good. I do think he's a good player.
He is a good player.
I think he's at least 50, bro.
So along with Lisandro Martinez,
So I don't think that's that crazy.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot
Have you got
on.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
You think Maguire is 80?
Gabriel, like the Saliba, wow, like incredible. Gabriel,
He was better than Saliba last
mistake-
season.
Not really. I don't think you really believe that. It's like
I don't
surely
believe
a football narrative. You don't
Surely
really
there's
believe
got to
that.
be something when Mikel Arteta at the start of last season didn't start him for like 4 games.
Because
he was,
Mikel
like,
Arteta's doing what
questionable.
Mikel Arteta does sometimes, overthinks things. And
Is
then
there,
he realises...
there's a reason. Like, he's putting doubt in his head. Like,
Then he
Calafiori
realised-
look
comes
at the
in,
Aston Villa
Timber.
game. Look at the Aston Villa game.
Yeah.
Look at the Aston Villa game. If Watkins puts that goal in,
Injured
the bottom
another
left-hand
player.
corner,
Yeah, he's got a mistake in him, but I don't think he's overrated.
And
I
if
think
you're
he's there.
Is there a
Arsenal
world,
fans
is there a
gas
world
him.
where,
Premier League,
is there a world where you're,
they can make mistakes.
is there a world where your back 4 is Timber, Calafiori, Saliba, Ben White?
Eventually, because he's the oldest one out of the back line. So eventually, we're going to move him on. I'm not saying we can't get Ben and Gabriel, of course, but I don't think he's overrated.
I think Arsenal fans
Last
overrate
season-
everyone.
I think,
Anyway.
He was good last.
wait, him and
No, I
Saliba-
think they do. I think Don Robbie's done a music video about him outside the Emirates
I
or
don't
something.
care
I'm
what
pretty
Don
sure.
Robbie's
No,
done.
honestly, I think he has, man.
I don't know about
The
that.
Gabriel music video or
I
something.
don't know. Nah,
Honestly,
saying
getting
Gabriel
Jeremy
is
Lynch in it,
overrated
man.
is criminal. for
That's
me.
nonsense,
No
nonsense.
way. I don't think so. He's one of our better centre backs that we've had in the past couple of years. I think he actually was better than Saliba last year. I think he was the leader of the two. Saliba was obviously a Rolls Royce. We know he was covering Gabriel, but Gabriel's he's the enforcer. He's a good player. I don't think he's overrated.
What about you?
I think if anything, he's put his stock up higher because he wasn't rated, and then all of a sudden he's got even better because he's got a better centre back next to him.
Yeah.
But he's gotten better, so I don't think he's rated. No,
I think that's justified.
yeah, I don't think any Arsenal fan said this is the guy to look out for. No,
Yeah.
he surprised us.
What are your 2?
Martinez and Romero from Tottenham.
Romero I get a lot. I think he's headless, man. Sometimes.
I get
Romero.
Spurs fans talk about him as if like,
And he's a good centre-back,
I
but
see
the
Spurs
conversation-
fans say, "How's Romero not in the best conversation
All the
of the
time.
world for the best?"
all the time, and that's what it comes
I think
down
that's
to.
wrong.
Him
That
and
is wrong.
Martinez, actually. 2
And that's
short
what-
Argentine centre-backs who are bang average.
Yeah, that's what.
Romero's like 6'1",
Yeah, but that's
isn't
what.
No, he's about 5'11", isn't he?
he? No way.
They're both short.
Wow.
But that's what-
Martinez is.
That's what
If he's
winning.
above 6 foot, I'm 7'5". Honestly, he's tiny, man.
That's what winning international tournaments does, and that brings me really nicely onto my left back. If we want to move on, which is Marc Cucurella.
Is it?
It's overrated.
So overrated.
last season.
I don't think he's
No,
overrated, John.
Chelsea fans were not cooking him.
No, they wanted him out.
He was.
No,
No, they
no,
did,
no.
John.
Back end of the season.
He played
Back end of the season, I was hearing this, that, and the other. And now,
No, John.
what? He's in the team of the tournament.
Yeah, but he had a good
Yeah, but he deserved
He
to be.
deserved
He won the
No,
Euro.
overrated. Also spent the whole summer singing about Haaland just to then cry and get pushed around in a game.
He's overrated.
Begging
It's
to help with cramp. Begging to help with cramp.
with Australia afterwards.
Bro, I need to know how
begging,
this dude plays.
Sing about him all summer.
All
and
this
then as soon
shit
as he
he's
gets a bit of cramp,
chatting,
please help.
and this
Love
dude
that
probably
guy.
can't even kick a
And he gets
football.
bounced off him. And I think, no, but he was rated by Chelsea fans. Maybe not use that, but I was hearing all these Chelsea fans going, he's brilliant, he's changed it.
I know this dude plays trash.
He's kept Chilwell out the team.
Do you know what, John? Normally, I'm here to come to your age. You're a lovely guy, support a lovely club.
I don't need patronising here. I don't need patronising here.
It's a lovely club, John.
I can't help you with this one, John. I don't think he's
Richard Osman
overrated.
in the stands and all that's a beautiful
think he's overrated.
Michael Jackson
I
rocking
tell you
up.
who is overrated. Robertson, the one who plays for Fulham.
Robinson.
Hell
overrated.
no. Hell no. Fuck no. That's USA, baby.
Is he your left back?
He's not my left back, but he's.
Who's your left back?
Defensivamente, I guess, pero attacking, you can't touch him, bro. Attacking, you can't touch him, bro. I think outside the top 6, he's the one that most assists. Outside the top 6, y para Estados Unidos está haciendo goles.
I put Guardiola there initially. I put Guardiola.
I've got Gvardiol left.
Oh,
No.
what's going on?
And initially-
I'm actually sick of it, man.
No, it's not his show.
Now, Guardiola's pretty good.
He's outrageously good.
He is
I have
good.
no vested interest.
It's pretty good. I'm not saying
He
this.
hasn't played centre back in a year now.
Until the
He's
last
not
5
overrated.
games. Until the last 5 games.
He was
last
just
season,
coasting.
where he then scored like several goals.
Yeah.
He was not. He was.
He was
not-
coasting, booby.
He wasn't.
You were going to say not very good, and then, but actually, he was just
was
good.
okay.
He did
He's
his job.
overrated.
But he's the most expensive centre back in the world. or defender in the world.
Yeah, and
Like,
he'll
that's-
progress. He's still
and so-
20,
and
and
he's-
to do what he did at 21. And by the way, we have to talk about sporting merit. He won the Premier League title at left back, and he
I could have won it with City. Well,
Oh, but he's saying that. It's like, no, you can't use. You got no knee cartilage. How are you going to do it?
I think he's good. I think at centre back he's going to become one of the best.
Yeah,
Well,
left back.
I just think for the majority of last season until that end period.
And Nathan,
I know what you mean.
And fair, maybe change the
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Nathan Ake is more effective as a left back than Guardiola.
I do agree with that.
that's why
I've got a pretty obvious one. I think Dan Burn, bang overrated, scored a big own goal last season. I know Newcastle fans will say, well, he's had this big come up, playing against Mbappe in the Champions League. He's a hard worker.
I
just think
guess.
he's not. People think he's a Champions League left back every season. He's
Do
that
they,
standard.
though?
I think he was at that level. I thought he's nowhere near that
I
level.
don't know
Dan
if he's
Burn.
overrated. I don't know if
he's
anyone's
overrated.
sitting there in the pub and going, Dan Burn, he's good, isn't he?
Newcastle
No one's
fans
saying
love
that.
Dan
Spence will
Burn.
hate you for that. He loves Dan Burn.
You think? I'm not
He
sure.
does,
I'm not sure.
I don't think Newcastle fans and Specs should be our barometer to judge this list. Fine, we
That
can
is
move
true.
on.
Have we done our left backs then? Yeah.
We've done our fullbacks, yeah?
I've got a midfielder for you lads, John McGinn. I think
Ooh.
people think this guy, a
Ooh.
bit like Dan Burn, he's a Champions League level world class midfielder. I just don't think I think he's a solid Premier League midfielder. I think it's fair enough to say that.
Factos.
I don't.
I think of his a little bit better than that. Because si no estuviera,
He's
he
good,
wouldn't
though.
be starting or
But
playing
he's
Champions.
He's starting in the
Overrating him?
Champions League every season.
But is he going to be starting? He
I
might
think
get
Aston Villa
rotated
fans, I
out.
think he will. Yeah, maybe
He's
alongside
playing,
Onana,
he's
but I just don't see the quality there on the ball. He's a hard worker. I think he's right at the top of his game, and that's not criticism. I just don't. He's not a regular in the Champions League every season.
But again, who's saying he is?
A lot of Villa
Who's
fans
sitting and go
back
John
him.
McGinn Champions
a
League?
lot of football fans think he's top. He's like top.
Think about his career climb. Like he went from a nobody to now a Champions League footballer who, like, you said, works super hard. Like maybe there's a world where he can be improved on, but I think he's managed to. I think as Aston Villa have gotten better, he has managed to stay at the right level for them.
That's true.
And that's
true.
not easy to do.
100%. Anyone else? Any?
I've got a really controversial one, and I want to say first, I love him. I think he's a fantastic player.
No, you got to
But
say it with chest,
You
man.
better say.
let's remember, like, the way people have spoke about him from, you think about the Euros, and he's only playing in the Premier League for 6 months. Adam Wharton.
Oh,
No, but he's good.
Wharton is
No, that boy's good.
oh, that's a low blow, Zach.
But
He's like
Wharton-
12.
No one even, hardly anyone even.
No,
knew
yo
who
no
he
vi
was.
en un
People said
highlights.
Wharton should start for England
Ese
midfield.
vato.
Even who he was, Jack.
People said
Half the
Wharton
nation.
start.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Super
We
harsh.
missed out. He didn't even get an opportunity.
Like, come on.
He's not overrated if he doesn't get an
Come on,
opportunity.
Jack.
No, it's not overrated.
He's been running games. He's played 3 games in the Premier League. When I've watched Palace, he's been all over the
Kid,
ball.
man. Probably watches this show.
He's good. He's good.
Just Zach's just going after him.
He's nice,
People
man.
talking about he's like the best in the Premier League.
He is on some level the best English deep line midfielder in the Premier League.
I think so too.
He is. He's the best deep
'Cause he's
line
got
midfielder
legs.
I think
who's
future
English right
is-
now.
I think future is really.
You've just killed his career before he's even
Come on,
started.
man. I think the future is really, really positive for him. Like he might
boy, the truth.
move to God knows any club, any top 6 clubs, and
Yeah.
go and on to do crazy things.
Ah, that's
So if you think that he's not overrated,
that's crazy.
People talk about him like he's doing it right now.
he is. He ripped up Man United. He dominated Man United. He's been dominating sides at the start of this Premier League.
I think we've got to
Did he play well against you when you drew with them? Is that-
No, not really. No.
He is. His talent is out of this world.
Yeah, man, he's one for the
Out of this
future, man.
world. Carrot 2.0.
If
I
anything,
get
he's
more
on
with
the
that.
Wonder Kids list.
think he's underrated. I think Adam Water's underrated. He didn't play a minute in the Euros. An embarrassment.
can I give you
De La
a-
Fuente would have played him.
Can I give you a real overrated player? Should we get serious with this? And he's not on any of your lists. I don't know what list you've got. Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Is he on everyone's
I
list?
didn't, but I took him out.
70 million, right? The Gerrard replacement, Hungarian Gerrard. I watched the game here, Man United Liverpool the other day. I thought he cost them 2 or 3 goals, making the wrong decision on the edge of the box, passing terrible short passes that could have ended in goals. If he's not doing that, he's kicking the ball out the stadium with a long shot. I don't rate him highly at all. Let alone.
That's fair enough.
He had a really good season when he was right wing, and then he's been moved. Yeah, like he's been moved to a lot more like a central midfield.
Yeah, and again, I
He's
don't
not on
think
10.
he's terrible, but he's just nowhere near the level that I see. He's not £70 million player.
I've got one for you. I see your 70 million and I raise you 100 million by Enzo.
Enzo Fernandez. Oh,
Fernandez.
mate, walks into my
Chelsea
team.
fans don't rate him anymore.
He is
He's captain, Boovy.
the
Yeah, but
most.
Chelsea fans. We're talking about football fans.
Cold.
Do football fans rate him though?
Bro, Chelsea, when he first came, oh
think
my
he's right,
god.
I agree with you, but-
It was the best thing since sliced
Yeah,
bread.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago.
And reality has hit you in the face.
Yeah, he's horrific.
Yeah,
I've
been
been
saying
saying
this from
this
day
his
one.
first
But
touch
that
versus
doesn't
City.
make him
He's
overrated.
His
horrific.
first touch versus
But that doesn't make him
Of
overrated.
course he's overrated.
nah,
You spending
nah.
the money trying to get him, the money you
This
spend.
is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He's still
Yeah, but
overrated.
we're talking about expectations from football fans, I don't view Enzo
That
Fernandez
pasión
going to a big
bola,
team
no,
and
but
influencing it. I don't think he's that
it's
good.
still class,
But
bro.
There's an argument someone could make for him to be underrated. I'm not going to make
No
that argument.
way.
Que corre
No,
toda
no,
esa
no,
Argentina.
Well, there it is. That immediately
no,
overrated.
but-
Yeah,
You've got
exactly.
Chelsea fans
Tired
saying
as
Enzo
fucking
Fernandez,
slander, bro.
£100 billion is underrated.
You're
He
great.
scored
All
one
of a sudden
goal in
now,
his
because he's
career.
not as
I
good.
didn't say
No
that,
first
but my
touch.
point more so is I think everyone's more
No
on your
first
side where, like,
touch.
no one thinks he's been worth the money.
Bro, have y'all watched him? I saw him that game against Manchester City.
no,
He did not play
Go
bad.
on to Wi-Fi and see what people are actually
No,
saying in
Boogie.
the football world. They're not saying he's overrated.
I
No
was-
one rates him.
I'm on YouTube. I'm on record saying that even
Yes.
when he first came,
Yeah.
they're
It's
a
saying
big
he's
I did
overrated.
too. I did
This
too.
year's a big year
I-
for him in terms of like
And
trying
Madrid.
to
I said
he's
they're all
make
overrated,
it show
bro.
he's worth it. Like I
He's
think that-
overrated.
I've got one for you. I think Declan Rice after the Euros
Having a
is
laugh.
so overrated. No, I do. I do.
I don't agree with that.
I do.
Oh, come on, man.
Can I at least explain, right? So he's cost you 2 points against Brighton already. This is in a week. If we're going to slag off Adam Wharton, who's had a fantastic start to the Premier League, then we have to slag off Declan Rice, who's got his first red card in his career. But for the Euros, and again, I always start with Gareth Southgate. I think he limited a lot of football players. Harry Kane had a poor tournament, etc. But Declan Rice, when he's got that individual responsibility to play the first time ball, to keep it simple, I thought he was
listening to Paul
so
Scholes?
poor. I thought he was so
I'm
poor
listening
in
to
the
Twitter.
Euros.
He's listening to Paul
But
Scholes.
you know, some players are £5 million players. You know, Chiesa can come in for Liverpool and do what he wants, have it, and work hard. 12 million quid. When you cost £100 million, you can't string a pass together in a Euros tournament. It's embarrassing.
talking about
I think
Euros.
it's a touch
What about
overrated.
the Euros?
Is this the Premier League list
Yeah,
here?
but he just slagged off Carl Walker for the Euros.
So that's what because he's doing that. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but Carl Walker won the Premier League last season.
Taking my whole.
So if he
argument.
jumps off a bridge, you're just going to jump on
Carl Walker won the Premier League last season. Carl
Wait
Walker
for
won
me.
the.
Is that what you're going to do? Jump behind him?
I'll give you some examples. You give examples from the Qatar World Cup. I was living in a whole different borough of London.
I never said anything about the Qatar World Cup.
When Chelsea signed him out of the Qatar World Cup
He's
in
overrated.
2023.
He was rated. He was overrated.
I'll give you examples in the last 6 months, which is fair for this discussion. Declan Rice in the Champions League went completely
Have you
missing.
given me
Declan Rice in the Euros against
English
Spain,
football?
completely missing. Against Man City, completely missing.
What?
I feel like
Against
Declan
Man
Rice
City,
is one of the
we
only
won against
players.
you when we played with Declan Rice was there.
You drew, and you
Did we
shit
beat you at the
yourself for a
Emirates?
draw.
Did
You
we beat
shit
you at the
yourself for a
Emirates?
draw.
Did we beat you at the Emirates?
Yeah, with a deflected
Did we
effort
beat
you
you
made
at
a
the
DVD
Emirates?
about ever since. Come on.
Declan Rice's record that stands against Man City when he plays for
Yeah,
Arsenal.
but
He
you
hasn't
came
lost the
second.
game.
You came second.
I feel like
So now he's moving second. Get out of here.
Coming in as a neutral, I feel like Declan Rice is one of the only players to justify a £100 million fee because it doesn't.
I don't know if he's justified
But
it,
let me
but he's one
finish
of the closest
because it
spot
doesn't
money.
it doesn't get spoke about. It's not like oh my god he's 100 mil, which is
I speak
Grealish
about it
gets
now.
that
Costs
tag,
100 million
Enzo gets
Enzo
that tag.
gets that tag. Casado
You don't
even
watch
gets that
Declan
tag.
Rice and you go wow how is he 100 mil? You go oh he's looking good. I think he's
We all know players are
justified it.
like John said, it's justified. We all know all players are overpriced. We know that.
Yeah.
That's just football.
Yeah.
But no one ever spoke about Declan Rice's price tag from the day he played for Arsenal.
did.
He was giving us. Well, but,
On my personal channel.
there we go. He was giving Arsenal at least 8 out of 10s every single game. He was the difference maker. He's
No,
the
he
one
had a
who
great season last season. I'm being harsh, but people think he's near Rodri. He's closer to
No, I
Gareth
don't
Barry than he is Rodri. He's nowhere near Rodri.
And that's not a bad thing because Gareth Barry was good.
But Arsenal fans, yeah, he was. He's got,
Premier League.
he's got a better Premier League record
He's
than
not
Declan
nowhere
Rice
near
will ever have.
Rodri, but he's not overrated. No way Declan Rice is
Arsenal fans
overrated.
gas him up as if he's world class.
Okay,
he wouldn't start for Real Madrid.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, barring Real Madrid or Man
Man
City,
City.
he walks into every single team in the Premier
Yeah,
League.
because you came second last season.
No, but just individual.
Zinchenko
forget
walks into your
Arsenal,
side, you
the
can
individual brilliance of him. He walks into everyone.
Brilliance is
else's
a big word. He plays it side to side. He drives with the ball. His goal record is absolutely shocking.
Does
for,
he
for a
get into
midfielder.
everyone else's team, Booby? Yes or no? Barring Man City. In the
I'm
Premier
not
League,
sure.
don't say
I'm not entirely sure.
So who else gets?
I'm not entirely sure.
So tell me.
I think he starts for Arsenal. He came second
Does
last
he start for
season.
Liverpool?
But all I'm saying is Arsenal fans think he's
yeah
the
Does
best
he start for
midfielder.
Chelsea?
starts for Liverpool.
Does he start for?
I saw an Arsenal fan called
he
him
start
better
for
than Frank
United?
Lampard. I know they had a
Yes.
migraine.
Villa. Yes. Leicester. Yes. Southampton.
I think he starts for everyone.
He
but
just
Come on,
said
Booby,
Leicester
lads.
City, lads.
Come on, man.
I'll give you another midfielder, lads. How about that?
Can I give one now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, your turn. Go.
Well, this player, I think he is overrated. When he came to this football club, the expectations of him was very high. Expected to take the club to the next level. For the price he came in, it was very cheap. We thought it was a bargain. He hasn't really kicked on. He gave us 6 months.
Does he wear
got
white?
Injured. He wears white.
Yeah.
After the 6 months, when it was January, he's been missing. Didn't make the England squad. Still not doing anything. Madison,
Yeah,
He's in mine.
I like it.
what are you doing?
James
like it.
Maddison's in mine.
I thought that was going to be the signing of the season for the price. He's going to kick
He had a
on.
good
He's almost his own
Half the
downfall. But
season.
Miles,
Yeah,
I think he's his own downfall because he started so well, and then that level wasn't. He wasn't able to maintain that level. A few injuries, and then almost that's tainted him. He is in mine though.
Yeah.
He is in mine. I think he
Biggest
needs
bit
to have a big
overrated.
season now. Tottenham's a difficult club to do it.
I'm
at,
not saying
though, I
Tottenham
think.
fans rate him highly.
It's difficult. Yeah,
It's a difficult club. It's a difficult club for him to do it
Yeah.
because what is a player player of James Maddison should be, okay, he's never going to get this level, but he's aiming to be the De Bruyne of wherever he goes, right? And Tottenham are never going to win trophies. they're just not winning trophies. So he's never going to reach the level that he should reach.
Yeah.
And there's so many players in his position for England that are better than him. So he's in a little bit of a difficult spot.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair to have him in this
Have we got two more midfield? I don't know if you're doing 4-4-2s. I've got one more.
4-3-3.
I did 3.
You're done?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I've got Enzo, Szoboszlai and Maddison.
I agree with most of those. My final one would just be Bruno Fernandes. I don't think he's a world-class playmaker like Man United fans make out. He's obviously provided unbelievable moments of brilliance individually speaking. I just don't think he's that guy to take them where they need to be as Man United. I think he's closer to James Maddison than he is to De Bruyne.
He's one of their only good.
yeah,
Man United fans
for me.
hype him up, man.
But they haven't got much to hype up, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I know,
when they've got someone like Bruno who
But
does
comparing to De
something
Bruyne, bro, you're
like-
just like, oh,
I think-
awful.
I think Bruno Fernandes does maybe get hyped up by Manchester United fans, but I do think it is an element of like they haven't got much else to. When Bruno's one of the only creative assets or one of the only goal scorers, I think he's the only guy they can really do it about. And there's a lot. You look at the rest of that United squad. Like Bruno's been there for a little while now and managed to do
He puts up numbers.
The numbers are good. They are.
Numbers.
Exactly.
And I think he's overrated. I think it's because like exactly, they don't have enough creative players in their team, so he's the only one that they look forward to. They look to him to create for the team. Yeah, I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a decent player. I
think that's fair.
I put Casemiro in there before.
I'm listening to you lads. I'm learning and listening as I go along this
that
video.
weekend performance, Casemiro's probably out of everyone's
No one rated
rated
the guy.
list.
Spot
But he was rated when he first came in. Remember when he first came in?
But what is his history lesson with Miles?
The
This is years
language
ago.
was he's on Rodri's
but
level.
Do you know what year it is? We're not doing last year.
2022, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going from
We're doing Back to the
expectations.
Future with Miles here. We're going back to
I'm going from
1987.
expectations, bro. He's
Fucking hell.
overrated.
Let's do wingers.
Yeah, wingers.
Any standout
I've got
wingers?
one.
Go on.
I got my wingers sorted.
So let me dress this up for you. So this winger that came in to this football club, which bearing in mind they did not need this player. They didn't need him. They didn't need him at all. He's a 2.0 of St. Maxim. His name is Doku. This kid is overrated.
Really?
He's dancing on the wing, does a million skills on the right side, the left hand side. But beats his player, looks at him, smiles at him, takes a picture, selfie, gets to the byline, makes the wrong pass, chips it too far for Haaland. Sometimes he doesn't put it on the edge for Kevin De Bruyne. His assist numbers, you had that great season last season.
Yeah.
That great game when he got 5 assists in one game. After that, what's he done? What does Jeremy Doku do after?
Well, he scored a goal in
dancing
an
on the
FA
wing?
Cup final, very rare thing to do.
Other than him dancing on the wing like
more
Kike
FA
Humble,
Cup final goals than Thierry
what does he
Henry.
do?
No, ultimately, I think you're right. I think he's raw when he gets to the final third. I think that Guardiola's
Yeah.
living in this world where he can live on Rodri and Foden's form.
Expectations where you're at Man City, bro.
Yeah.
You're at Man City. You can't.
But there are a lot.
You can't.
He's raw. There's no
Mahrez
doubt
was
about
there.
it.
But there is almost that rule with the Man City wingers where it takes a year. Takes a year and they suddenly click and they suddenly become a lot more better. Like
Their new
Sterling was
winger, their new winger, Savini, was it Savini?
Savini, yeah.
He's going to come in and take Doku out of the picture.
But they kind of play both together.
Yeah,
don't they?
exactly.
Like,
He's gonna,
I think them two are going to be
I
chaos
think-
this season. It'd be brilliant.
I think Doku's overrated.
I think
man.
Doku
What
might
I've seen
have-
of him so far, overrated.
I think Doku at the start of last season, he had those like 5 games where he looked electric, he looked crazy, and then everyone's expectations went to here for him. But I think in the end, he has probably been about. No one thought when he joined he was going to. I think when he joined, everyone was like, "What?
Yeah, it was a
Makes
small
no
transfer
sense.
fee as well.
Yeah, this makes no sense. This isn't not a normal Man City signing." But I mean, yeah, I guess he's not necessarily into the standard, has he?
Like, respectfully, where does he play on the left wing?
Left wing, yeah.
Is he more effective than Matoma? See, the
It's
fact
hard.
that we have to do.
It's hard because
Says a lot.
Yeah, but I
Says
don't
a
think
lot,
he's
John.
miles ahead of Matoma. But his goals and assists, very very good performance against Brighton in one of his first home games for City, and he wins the Premier League title. I think we have to talk about that. No, but you have to because it's Premier League success.
But Matoma could have won it then because Matoma put.
We don't know that.
Matoma would have won
We don't know. He might have got in the way. We don't know.
Matoma would have won.
Yeah,
I just think he's overrated.
players their
That's just
flowers.
me.
They win the
My first
Premier
one
League.
is Doku. I just think he's overrated. I think he's overrated.
And by the way,
So
I
far.
kind of semi-agree with you. I think he's a touch. He could be a touch overrated, if anything. I don't think people underrate him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
What about you, lad?
I've got on the left wing Martinelli.
I agree.
I agree.
As an Arsenal fan, I hate to agree, but I agree.
Well, then maybe it actually isn't overrated. If everyone's kind of agreeing then that he's overrated on the panel, it might be interesting when people stay at home. I guess it's just, you know, what's the sad thing about Martinelli? He had that season where it thought, oh, we've got like a star here, a Brazilian winger. He's going to be incredible. Saka and him would come in through at the same time. Saka went on to this, and obviously, and due to injuries as well, like Martinelli hasn't quite caught up with him.
How does he start over Trossard?
Well,
I don't
he doesn't
understand that.
anymore.
It's just
He didn't
pace.
against
It's pace.
Brighton.
It's an outlet. He is the outlet for the left hand side. Obviously, Trossard ain't got the legs. He's got everything else. If Trossard had Martinelli's pace, he'd be an ultimate winger. But he just doesn't have that pace, and he gives us the option on the left hand side. But right now, I think he's overrated. Arsenal fans do overrate him. We know that he's going for a bad patch right now.
Yeah.
But there's been times that we've overrated.
But I don't know if he's necessarily overrated because, like, as a neutral, I wouldn't go like, "Oh, Martinelli." Like, you know what I mean? I don't think neutrals
just
talk about it. It's just Arsenal
Just
fans.
talking from an Arsenal fan base, like I'm going to call it as it is. Yeah, like sometimes we do overrate.
You can be
our
overrated
players.
within your own fan base.
Yeah, and I feel like he's one of them. Right now, obviously, fans are going to be, oh, no, he's not. He ain't scoring goals. But there was a time where Martinelli, he was getting in like the best 11s of the left. Like he was spoken about one of the best in the
But
left.
he was having a season where he was like deserving of that.
But maybe it was overrated.
Yeah,
Maybe it was overrated.
My left winger is probably going to have the same argument with you, Zach, as Nicholas Jackson. I think your fan base rate him so highly.
Yes, Jay.
Oh, he got 14 league goals last season. Great. How many did he miss? His XG's way up there, missing chances. He's always asleep when he shouldn't be.
Genuinely struggled to like. I can agree that he has missed chances, of course, but like, unless you're Erling Haaland, and even Erling Haaland misses every now and again, like you miss chances. Like it happens. One of the best assets a forward could have is getting in the position to have those chances. And actually, that normally dictates that a forward is good. He's not a left winger, for one. He's a striker for Chelsea, especially with the amount of wingers Chelsea have now. Like, you're not going to see him operating out there.
You tell me all the time you want to put him on left wing and bring in a striker.
No,
That's all I hear. Nicholas Jackson will be great when he's on the left wing, and there'll be all his energy, and we're getting a good striker.
I'm more
up
than
front.
happy with Jackson at top.
Really, 14 league goals a season. Chelsea back on top.
This is a player who
14
really
goals.
only played his first full season last year. The year before that, he'd just about managed to play for Villarreal. Before that, he was barely playing senior football. So he's like new. He's a little bit older. He's like 22, 23. But he's only recently come into like the professional
So this
game.
is his Drogba season, then.
Mate, he scored more goals than Drogba last season. Drogba's first
So
season.
is this his Drogba?
He also
season?
he scores the goal.
I
He's just
genuinely think,
he's
like-
useless. Did you see the hat trick against Spurs? Imagine having the tag, right?
No, John,
Imagine
I
having the
was
tag of
listening
the
to you a lot.
worst hat trick of all time.
Criticise someone for scoring a hat trick in the Premier League.
Booby, imagine being lucky enough, right?
No, it's not about lucky. It's
Imagine
not
being
about- you have to work hard
No,
to be in
listen.
that
Imagine
position,
being
John.
lucky enough to have the tag of like I've scored a Premier League hat trick. You sit there with your grandkids. You go, do you want to see it?
It's so
And you
bad.
show the highlights of the game.
It don't matter.
Embarrassing.
It don't matter.
Terrible.
There are
The
people that sell their
worst
kidneys
hat
to
trick.
walk onto the pitch for 1 second in
And
the
it took him
Premier
a
League game.
million chances to score that game as well.
Nah,
but they're
Nah,
highlighting-
overrated.
I just think
Overrated.
he is-
Should not be up
I'm
front for
listening to you in
Chelsea.
general, but
Ball.
you can't slag someone off for scoring a
Great
Premier League hat trick
dribbling.
against Spurs. You can't.
So you just that sounds like you haven't seen
attacking
it.
position.
I have seen. I was watching it live on the club. It wasn't the best. It wasn't Messi. It
It was a
wasn't not
disaster of a
Maradona.
performance, is my point. He's just not. The eye test is the eye test. For me. It's overrated. Look at how you defended him.
Score a Premier League hat trick.
Is he good enough? Is he good enough? Is he good
genuinely
enough?
struggle against him.
Is he good enough to be Chelsea's striker?
Yes.
Wow.
He's good enough to be.
You know, you
1/3
used to
of
win
their
leagues.
front three.
You used to win leagues. You used to win
great
Champions Leagues.
strikers, man. He's not good enough to be a striker.
Talking over here,
That's what he's
like,
just said.
I think genuinely, like he does things. He creates his own opportunities.
He's not even better than Havertz, and we want to replace
Oh,
Havertz.
They're
We-
different
we want
players.
to
They're
start.
different
so
players.
different players.
He's a
They're
striker.
so different players.
They're different
Like,
players, man.
He's a striker.
Why are we being so harsh on
No, but is he,
Jackson? No one
is,
thinks
he,
he's
is he
world
their
class.
striker? Is he their number 9? Is he their
They do,
main
Booby.
guy?
We've got
He scored
Chelsea.
more goals than your number 9 last season
Yeah, but
in
we
the Premier
we're
League.
still better than him.
Havertz got 13.
and our
This
number-
guy got 15.
And our number 9 was playing for him in the 6th, in the 8th for half the season.
Yeah, I know.
We've
So
got
imagine what he
Chelsea
was doing
fans.
if he played for the full
Overrated.
season.
No one's saying he's Adriana, but Jackson had a good season last season. He's young. You got to
people refuse to like. People think they see the player once. They go, can't get better than that. He can't improve on that. Like,
Of course he can.
There is a good. Like, he's already. I think he's got 1 or 2 goals already this season. Like with 3 games in.
No,
He got, like,
but you
5 or
don't-
6 assists last year.
But you
Like,
don't improve that
you know
side
what?
of your game. You can never just become a good finisher. Name me a player.
Sterling. No, I agree.
What's
to an
Sterling doing
extent.
now?
I agree to an extent.
Oh, but
chill,
he's
chill,
scored
chill.
over 100 Premier League goals still. He got coached well. If Jackson gets
Yeah, but
coached well, he
Sterling's
could be
a
a good
bad-
I
striker.
don't agree. It's like Darwin Núñez. You either got it or you don't.
We
You've
love
either got that killer instinct in front of goal or you don't. And I'm not saying Jackson is a horrific footballer. I'm just saying he's not good enough to be up front for Chelsea. And all I hear is Chelsea fans go,
Mate,
Nicholas
Chelsea
Jackson this,
Chelsea
Nicholas
finished
Jackson that.
under 10th 2 seasons ago. Like, this is the position Chelsea are in. Like, Chelsea are trying to get top 4 this year. I think he's more than good enough.
He's not good
Genuinely
enough.
do.
He's not good
Then
enough.
all-
But that's why I disagree. He's not a top 4 striker.
I said it.
Nicholas Jackson is not a top 4
There's
striker.
not many strikers.
He's playing
out
next to
there.
some brilliant players
So
as
he
well.
scored
He's
more
not-
than number 2 in the league last season. He scored close
2.
to.
He's got 14.
Making second last season, he scored more than Havertz, and he was playing number 9 for
No
Arsenal.
one's arguing
Scored more
Havertz
than
is a great
Saka.
striker.
Yeah, but
Scored
you
than
just said he's
Saka.
not a top 4 striker, and he's
Arsenal
getting numbers of a
played
top
their
4
wing.
striker.
He scored,
Coming
he
inside.
scored, what do you mean he scored more than Saka, bro? Saka.
He didn't score more than Saka, did
Yeah,
he?
he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he scored more than
How many
He's got
goal
the
involvements
same.
does Saka
He's got
have,
the
though?
same amount of league goals.
The expectations of Saka and your striker is 2 different things.
Sorry,
Both of
I'm
them
just-
are
I'm
elite.
just gonna-
scored more than Saka.
Bro, we got the lead.
Miles, let me just land this.
Oh my
Miles,
days.
Nicholas Jackson scored the same amount of league goals as Chris Wood.
Oh, okay. For that.
So Chris Wood scored more than Saka.
Saka's a winger. Saka's a winger. Nicholas Jackson plays up front for you.
I'm an Arsenal player.
He's a
I'm an
winger.
Arsenal player with half the reason we have.
No, but is he a winger? Is
Is
Saka a winger?
to accommodate our wingers coming
Is
inside.
Saka a winger?
He's a forward.
He's, yeah,
Oh, so
like
that's
Salah.
not doing
Like
that.
Salah.
He's a right winger. He's a right winger.
But
Saka's a
supposedly
right
that's
He's
winger.
a right winger,
Arsenal
bro.
fans wanted to say that about how like that's why Kai Havertz is all about accommodating off wingers to make them more forwards and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but he's a right
but
winger.
then, okay, like well, sure, football nowadays is played with wingers getting 20+ goals a season.
But
Lionel
Jackson is a
Messi played
goal
off the
scorer
right,
for you.
but
Jackson's there to score goals.
Yeah. So how many goals did
Jackson is
Jackson
a-
score?
Like Jack's forwards nowadays, like the way people play football nowadays, they are looked as like the wingers is a forward, the striker is a forward, and okay, there are certain ones like Haaland who is just ridiculous. Otherwise, I think the way Jackson plays is much more about like just being goal contributions, and he
Dominic
did very well at that.
Dominic Solanke got 5 more league goals than him playing for Bournemouth. He's playing up front every minute for
Yeah, but
Chelsea.
Solanke had a freak season. He's now got a £60 million move to
He
Spurs.
scored like 6 goals before that.
If you sign a striker and he comes in and scores 15 Premier League goals, he gets a hat trick against Spurs,
14.
and a really poor 14, and he scores in a really poor Chelsea side that had different managers coming in and out, or different ownership or whatever. It's not a bad season, is
Bro, he
it?
didn't get more goals than Saka. You're having a laugh, bro. I knew he didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure we didn't even fact check.
Jackson
We have to fact
14,
check.
Saka.
Got 16 goals, bro. What are you talking about? And he's a winger. Get out of
Non-penalty
here.
goals. Non-penalty goals.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
can we
Yeah,
get rid of
yeah,
this
yeah,
non-penalty
non-penalty
thing? Then
goals.
Cole Palmer has 1 goal.
Get out of here,
Still
man.
right.
Let's
Overrated.
move on. We've got a couple
But you know
more
what? I want him
places
to keep
fill.
him because the more you keep him, Chelsea ain't doing anything, so it's fine. Keep him.
Agreed.
Yeah,
They'll
keep
never
him.
get back to that top 4.
You'll
with
never
Jackson
get
up
there.
front.
with-
But who
with him.
else? Like, okay, like you're saying.
Osman
like,
was
who
there.
else?
He fluffed around.
Osman wanted nearly 400 grand a
well,
week. Go to Galatasaray and do that then, like he has.
You
Like,
give
what we want-
Sterling
were giving it
400
away.
grand a week to play for Arsenal.
No. Sterling.
You could have given Osman the
Sterling's
money.
a massive error. That's 3 seasons ago. Like a very different
Try put down my guy Saka.
I
Yeah.
think
Pay
We've all got,
Arsenal's wages.
We've all got one more position to fill in the front 3, whether strikers or left wingers. I think we've all covered ours. 2 out of 3. I've got Marcus Rashford as a little bit overrated as well. I still think people rate him as if he's going to come
Yeah, I've
back
got
and
Rashford.
score the numbers that he did 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I think he's past it. He's just not. He's not a world-class forward. I don't think he ever will be.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Rashford's
27 in a few days.
also though, it's so mad looking at him now play with no like the Rashford with confidence compared to the Rashford without confidence.
Night and day.
Yeah.
And also like 2 players that's about 70 million quid in between them. Like right now with United, like even to be fair against Liverpool, he did create a couple of chances that United fluffed in the end. But it's just it's actually quite sad sometimes I think watching it because you just know there is that ability in there. There is this guy who can beat a man, shoot from 35 yards out, and it go top bins. But it's just
But
not
he's lost that ability to beat the man now. He's shying away from trying to run on the outside, and that is a big concern. That was one part of his game, the only part of his game.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he's lost that.
We saw it last weekend. He was 1v1 with Konate, and he just turned back and passed it inside.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're supposed to be have a go.
Yeah,
Get him behind. There was
100%.
space to run into. So
Yeah.
I agree. Rashford's in mine
as
But-
well. Yeah.
Yeah, Rashford's.
So we've got a couple more spaces with you lads.
No, Rashford was.
mine was not as fun to end on, but Brennan Johnson, 50 million quid. Someone I don't think he's been awful. I think he's been quite like a bit of a utility player for
I don't think he's
Spurs,
overrated, though.
but 50 million.
Was he
quid is
even rated to begin
50
with?
million
though?
pounds is a lot of money.
He was
you have to
supposed to
consider the
40, wasn't
transfer. Yeah.
50 million pounds is a lot of money.
But yeah,
They got the wrong one. They should have got Gibbs White.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all they did.
It's true.
Yeah, they
He's a
should
fantastic
have got Gibbs White.
What about Darwin Núñez? Is Darwin Núñez
I
overrated?
feel like everyone kind of goes now that like
Now he's benched.
Yeah, he's
Slot-
benched
Slot
now.
doesn't even rate
Slot doesn't fancy
What
him at
about
all.
Evan Ferguson? There was big talks about him.
Injuries is harsh.
Is
For a
it?
young player, I think if you criticise an injury,
I love
No, but he was
I genuinely love Ferguson.
he was being
I thought
linked
he was
to a
gonna be
£100
incredible.
million move at the start of
I
last
did a
season.
TikTok saying he's worth 400 million quid at one point.
Okay, Evan Ferguson is my striker because he got what did he get 5 league goals last season?
Might be
400 million.
He was injured for a long time last season, and also like what's his face? Who's the manager last year? De Zerbi.
Exactly.
Nutter. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Don't fancy him now.
Yeah,
Do you think he'll be fancied under the new management? We don't,
I mean,
we'll time will tell.
They spent 40 million on Rutter, didn't they? So like, he's still young. He's still very, very young.
I think there's a fair shout to say Ferguson if he has been. If
Can I-
Booby's been doing TikTok saying he's worth £500 million.
Yeah, it's just inflation makes Chelsea ruin the market.
Can I ask you a question, Jack? Let me land first, yeah? Do you think Cole Palmer's overrated? And I'm asking a question.
Do I think so?
Yeah, do you think so? Because do you think he's going to get the same numbers, the same output as he did last season?
He's got 5 assists already, hasn't he? 4 assists already and a goal.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
No, yeah. I mean, I understand where people come from.
Because he had a great season, so now the expectation is there. And the ratings of Cole Palmer, rightfully so, is up there.
Yeah.
And Chelsea fans are overrated him, saying he's up there with his sack goals and full goals. So I'm just asking now, second season syndrome, is it going to kick in?
And then there's also the element
Is it
of,
too much?
He's got a new manager now that wants to play a lot more like tactically, and he has to fit a certain role. I think so, mate. Like,
Okay.
Just
That's
look
fair.
at how the season started.
That's fair. Is he your guy? Your final before?
No. No, it was just
Who's your final forward then?
Oh, it was Rashford.
Rashford as well.
Yeah.
So we're basically there. You have to let us know in the comments down below what you think about our Premier League overrated 11. Make sure you subscribe. Check out all the lads, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Do you remember your impression of Clint in that game?
I remember really well, not that game, but what he did after that. I mean,
I think 2 times our pass cross. That and then the Fulham game.
yeah.
I got lucky. I had a little chip.
We don't remember the Fulham game. I don't know what you're talking about.
You went to Crazy Cottage with a chip.
Wait, this is what game? Fulham playing who?
Playing Juve.
Playing Juve.
Yeah,
No.
second leg.
In
wasn't
what?
us.
Is this Europa?
Yep.
Okay.
Wasn't asking.
I had the best seat in the house, front row. It was.
Oh, you thought I was dumb? No. Station number 1. Best, I'm the best. What they talking about?
Kicking it season 2, and today we get to kick it with a great of the game, Italian national team legend, Juventus legend, Alessandro Del Piero. So good to have you with us, CBS Sports analyst. I should say that too. Yes. I know that CBS spoken to you about the budget cut, so you wouldn't cut them a little bit back.
No, I signed before the budget. I don't know what they're talking about.
We were looking at your accolades, obviously, with you coming in, and your list is just incredible. To give you some props, you've played 4 Euros, runners-up at the Euros, 3 World Cup winner, Champions League winner, Serie A winner 6 times around. Is there any experience the game didn't give you that you wish it had given you?
Well, I won everything except Euros when we finished second. So that's probably the only regret with the national team. And we actually won everything.
The thing that comes across when I met you the first time is how humble you are. But when you reach the levels that you've reached, at what point do you say, you know what, I want to win Ballon d'Or. I want to win all the best player awards versus, I know you're a team guy. How do you find that balance?
My mentality was win titles. So for me, the focus is that one. And I'm not gonna lie, of course, that if eventually some kind of personal achievement, you reach personal achievement, you're gonna be, super satisfied. But if you ask me, are you happy if you score 3 goals and you drew 3-3? No, I'm not happy. Happy if I score, if I win. That's the best, the best scenario. So it's a mix of things. But I always have in mind, and I end up my career and I reflect a little bit about that, Ballon d'Or or other kind of achievement, and I say, well, my inspiration was always win.
I consider you super competitive, and I've seen what you're like when you lose something. Well, how do you get?
I always think that in front of the camera, you need to show, not because you're not real, but everybody's looking at you. And especially the kids. And I always, when I was a kid, I was starving. Now we have many social media, many ways that you see any games, any action, any reaction of the players. Before, on my time, it wasn't like this. You have really few things. So I was paying really good attention to what's happening, A small interview from Platini. So let me see what he said. Let me see if he smiled after the win or after the lose, what he's doing. So And I try to do the same. You know, when I'm talking to the cameras, I'm thinking about the kids, first of all, because I believe you are truly an inspiration for them. And your reaction in front of the camera needs to be something responsible. And then is your reaction outside.
Privately.
Privately, that's, become very annoying. And I want to stay by myself. I don't want to share time with people. And I think and rethink.
Emotions run high in the game, though. Have you ever felt like you let that slip? Like a moment got away from you?
No, not always. Sometimes everything stay on the pitch. Sometimes come back at home with you. Definitely. It's a lot of things that happen inside the pitch.
Have you ever felt like a moment got away from you?
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of moments got away from me.
I can't think of any.
My worst moment was probably U.S. Open Cup game when I ripped up the ref's notebook. Got in trouble for that. That
when the ref pulls out to get the card, he pulled that thing and ripped it up.
I was not a good role model for the kids. I apologize. So.
Did you have that mindset, though? Was that even a thought for you of, like, who's watching me? And what does that mean
I
to
wish
them?
I was more like that. I wish I could control my emotions better than I did sometimes. I wore them on my sleeve, and sometimes they kind of got the best of me. But, yeah, I wish I was more aware of that. I think that's a good mentality to have.
But that's what made you the player you were too at the same time.
Yeah, I mean it's the good and the bad, right? That kind of makes you. But what I was curious about is you talk about mentality. Did you have that type of mentality, that winning mentality from a young age, or was that something that was like created in Juve?
Always that mentality.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I grew up with two best friends. One, when I was a little kid, one was the cutest one. So he got the attention from the girls. The other one was the funniest one. So he got and I wasn't
the attention
between them
from the
and
girls.
say, what should I do? How can you express myself in the best way? And I end up, I'm probably the best of them on the pitch.
Yeah.
So let's keep going on that, So that was my stuff. And I need to set rules. I need to be the best there.
I want to know when you knew you were the guy. Because you got the nickname, which I think is cool. It kind of sounds like Pinocchio, Il Pinturicchio.
Pinturicchio, our former owner, is a really incredible person that gives nicknames to a lot of people, so including Baggio. Baggio was Raffaello, the biggest painter. And so when I came on the stage and we won the league and the Champions League, I was still young. I was 19 years old, 20. So he brought another painter that is Pinturicchio. That is still a great painter. In some way, maybe better than the other one, but less known than the other ones. So at that time, nobody knows about Pinturicchio in Italy, to be honest. Who was that painter? But it was great, and it was one of the nicknames that happened to have. And there is some shift moment. There is a moment that you think, oh, well, there's maybe something's going on here. And then when I moved to Juve at 18, I started training straight with the first team. Baggio, Vialli, Köhler, Müller, and Peruzzi, all these guys, and say icons that I was watching on TV till a week before. And the first week was so and so. Then the second week was a couple of moves inside the field and say, well, maybe I can do something here. I still need to learn a lot, but let's see.
That first week, did you have doubts whether you could make it in that environment?
No doubts. I never had doubts. But I also know that the step between youth and the first team is huge in Italy. Because we don't have, for example, the second team. We have a huge gap. That is one of the issues that we have now in Italian football. How the young players, 18, 19, can go to the first team. That's, I don't know,
like a
in
reserve
England,
team.
in Spain, they did it. We are not able to do it like other countries. So that is a big issue. There's a time for everything, for everyone, in my opinion. Sometimes football doesn't give you the time that you need.
So when you went to Juve and you're that young kid, you're training with Baggio, you're training with Zidane. Who'd you learn the most from? Who pushed you?
Big brother,
you know,
mentor.
who'd you felt like maybe like, hey, you're not taking my spot? I mean, you basically Baggio gave you the number 10, right?
Well, with Baggio was a particular situation because we played 2 years together, and the second year was a little bit of friction with the club, and then he left the club. I learned from him, I learned from each of them, because I was listening. I was open to listening. For me, I was in a situation where it's the best place to be. And I don't want to say that everything that my teammates were doing right, but I was curious, I was asking, I was seeing what they're doing, I was see how they act, how they interact each other, how they play on Sunday after that week. So I kind of analyze things in your mind, and then you start picking stuff. Okay, probably that way, that guy did in the right way in that situation. And then I was mixing with my mentality and see what I feel right to do. I was part of the group. I never got angry if I make mistakes, because probably also they see how much effort I put on it. It's a combination of things.
If you look back, was there one tough moment, though?
The first year was really tough for us, because was the last year of Trapattoni, a huge manager in Italy, and especially in Juve. With Juve, he wants everything in the past. It was a very tough year. We finished low in the table. Usually Juve ran for the titles, till the last day, but we were out of that run a lot. We played in the UEFA Cup, and we lost against Cagliari. It was a derby in the UEFA Cup. It was a derby. We lost at home 3-2. Losing against Cagliari, it was kind of nice. Fans criticized us, fighting. But then at the end of that year, a lot of things changed. New coach, new club, GM, sport director, everything was new. And we reset and we start from zero.
How important is that as a footballer to be able to deal with change? Is that like a constant?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important things, to always adapt. And I think it's really smart how he was as a young kid, being so observant, watching and learning, because you can't come in there and just get respect. You have to earn it through your play and get everybody's respect as a teammate. But you always have to adapt your game to different coaches, to different teams.
Did you ever struggle with that change?
Yeah. I mean, there's like, I remember going to Fulham and being an all-star in MLS to being nobody over there, and trying to figure out a way to get on the pitch more, to get into games and how to make an impact. So it's being able to like always stay true to yourself and how you play and how you love the game, but you have to maybe play more defense, or you maybe have to play more simple and do whatever it takes to kind of earn the right to take more risks.
For me, it was a little bit different than you, by the way, because I stayed with you for 19 years. So at least I didn't change what was around me,
Do you look at that and kind of envy that situation of 19 years at one club, to be able to have that as your story in football, or do you enjoy the experience that you had moving around?
I think it's dope. I mean, to be able to be with a club that's one of the biggest clubs in the world for that long a period of time, and to be in your own country is cool, I mean, we didn't have that in America. There was no club that was that huge, that you would have that experience, that mentality that he talks about of kind of winning everything. And if you didn't finish with the winning the league, then it was considered a failure. But at the same time, it was cool to go outside your comfort zone and to experience new cultures and see if you could make it in some of the top leagues in the world.
When you talked about Zidane having trouble initially to start and play, but then obviously he did extremely well. What was it like watching Thierry Henry? Did you see it? Like I know you're injured, but when you're watching training, when you're watching the games.
I mean, yeah. He was really young, but you can see something different. I think in that particular moment, probably UK give him more opportunity to show his potential that, you know, like a defense place and league like Italy, where as soon as you do something,
Yeah.
they hold you. We have many secrets, you know, and we're famous for that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the issues that we are facing now, because you can't play that defense now, the modern era. You have a yellow card after 5 minutes. You think about it, you know. We have different problems in Italy, but one of that is because we lost our identity as how to know how to defend.
Is that as a country, or is that just as different clubs?
As a country.
Yeah.
Why would that go missing? Why would you lose that? If that's always
because
been your
you can't
identity.
play like this. It's
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I mean, we're talking about Chiellini,
It's taken away
we're
from
talking
you.
about
Modern
Bonucci,
game. Right.
you know, Cannavaro, Nesta.
Get punished.
There's a lot of dirty work behind what you see when the ball arrives.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. That's.
No,
It didn't hide too much, Marco.
that's part of it, no?
Yeah, but that's part of the job. But, you know, 10, 50 years ago, you can do some stuff that now is a red card, not even yellow card. It's a different regulation, different rules. And then I believe it's one of the reasons why Spain is doing so good, because they have already mentality to play the ball, and now they're winning every single tournament. Men's, women, under 19, blah, blah, blah. And for us, defense was life. Was, you know, we have one of the best defenders in the history of football. If you took the 100 best, I believe 25 are Italians.
Was there ever a time during while you were playing for Juve that maybe you wanted to go to another league or had an opportunity to go to another league that, you know, maybe would have been more exciting to get more goals because it was more difficult to play in Italy? Was there ever a chance that you almost left Juve?
Well, there was, there's a chance that happened at some point in 2006 because
after you won the World Cup?
Before the World Cup, because we were was kind of a situation really not easy. And
What was that, the betting scandal situation?
Yeah, Juve got relegated. I was the captain at that time.
That's even more reason to leave, isn't it?
Did your salary get chopped?
Yes. But no, I felt completely different. I felt to stay. I mean, when the owner called me and say, don't need to ask me, I'm gonna stay. I know what's going on. I know that we're gonna get relegated, maybe third division. At the beginning was third division, and I said, oh, I don't care. I mean, we won everything, and we're gonna come back to win everything again.
But you're captain now, right? This happens.
I was captain, yes.
A lot of players do leave, though.
Yeah.
How difficult was that for you?
I stay, Fon, Camoranesi, Trezeguet, Nedved. And Chiellini stay as well. But was very young, Chiellini.
Yeah. Thuram left, right?
Yeah, a lot of players.
Yeah.
Thuram, Cannavaro. But I don't...
You weren't
I
angry?
don't think they did the wrong choice. I mean, it's very difficult to make a decision in that kind of situation. It's a unique situation, never happened before. And some of them play with us 1-2 years. So it's not, you know, a long relationship. There's different vibes.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to stay.
Yeah.
Were you happy to stay, or you felt like it was a duty to stay?
I say both. Definitely I stay as a duty because I don't want to leave the club in that
Worse
status.
than, you don't want to leave it worse than when you found it.
Yeah.
If you go to leave, you want it to be in better or back to where it was.
Of course, at that time I was 32, won the World Cup. I think some teams against me. But no, I think the duty, of course, and I feel also that I have to stay. I have to show something to myself, to my people, to my fans, to my club.
Why? Because you had no fault in that, so why do you have to prove something? Do you know what I mean?
Because it's something that you have inside.
You did it for the supporters.
It's a feeling inside. I mean, it's like to be a fan of one team or the other ones.
Did they build you a statue yet?
What?
Did they build you a statue yet?
No. Juventus Stadium have different things, different images of players.
But no statue.
But no statue.
They gotta build you a statue.
So, Serie B, talk us through that time. Your first game, your first match. What was that experience?
Oh, it was out of control. I mean, because we've been to the first game was in the coast of Italy, where we used to have the best parties. Rimini, Riccione, all that coast is amazing for that. Okay, so it was still summer, so 35 degrees, and it's hot. And we jump in the stadium against Rimini Juventus, and we draw 1-1. And when I remember when I walk inside the field, I have these thoughts in my mind. So 1 month ago, I walk out from Berlin Stadium in Germany with the World Cup, and now I'm here because I made that decision, okay? And I take full responsibility, and I'm for real in second division. And started with -17. So we went to the full stadium, of course, because every game for us was like a, like a tour. We never play. Used to never play against these teams. Full stadium, everybody without shirt because of the heat, and then the smell of piadina. I don't know if you know what is piadina. Piadina is a typical from the area. It's amazing, so tasty. And it's a flat bread with the ham, and then you can put mozzarella or stracciatella.
Kind of like that hot dog that we made you eat earlier.
10 steps further and better. I'm sorry. So, and that smell is sticking our, when it was like a friendly game for, that the feeling, with the band that were singing and what's going on? And then we drew 1-1. We almost lost. And I say, well, we are for real in second division. We are for real in second division.
Did that whole experience feel humbling?
The whole experience was unreal. It was because we're in a battle outside the field of what's going on. Our lawyers, try to, make understand that you cannot have a relegation and -17. It's a lot of points, so they try to make close the gap. And we started the field and we drew. So -17, you move the standing and the table.
-16.
-16.
Oh, that's crazy.
And the other team said 3, 3, 3, 1. So it was a long way to go. But at the end of the year was beautiful.
Did you feel like it affected the way you were seen personally or treated personally because you were so representative of the club, right? And there was so much anger towards the club for what had happened.
Yeah.
Did it affect the way people treated you?
Of course, because I was the captain, I was the person more representable, on the team in that time. Because I play longer than anybody else, of course, and yeah, that anger was hate against the team was consolidated because of what happened. Oh yeah, we're so right. You make some mistakes, and now you go back. Is bad, good for you, bad for us. But then at some point, Swift, and of course, increase the relationship between us and me with our fans. And in that season, we have more membership than the season before, and it's crazy. And so it's a different journey, and nobody can expect something like this. Everything was super new, and a new club because we changed everybody in the club. and new coach. Almost half, more than half of the team new. Actually, Juve was represented by a lot of players in that World Cup final.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that World Cup final.
Let's talk about that.
So
finally,
so Zidane, right? Do you have a really good relationship with him while he was at Juve?
Yeah.
That happens. What was your reaction?
We're talking about the headbutt.
The headbutt, Materazzi headbutt.
What was my reaction?
Yeah. Were you like, because I know in a game, as a striker, and the opposition, one of their best players gets a red card, you're like, well done.
No, I mean, we had the thing is the ball was over on the other place, and I was running through that. And then the whistle, and then you see what's going on. Buffon starts screaming and move hands, because the only player that saw something was Buffon. The other one was looking into the ball, and Zidane and Materazzi was behind us. So I saw Materazzi on the floor. I say, what's going on? He's touching his chest. And so, Materazzi.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the opposite, in my mind, you know? Yeah. And then a lot of discussion for 2-3 minutes, I guess, because I don't know what referees and the linesmen say so or something. And the red card, I say, excuse me, red card to Zidane on the last minute of the game? What happened? And then we talk a little bit. I mean, apparently he hit with the head. And on the field, you don't go through that much. You have the penalty to shoot in 3 minutes for the World Cup final. I mean, you don't want to talk or think about what happened before. It was out, it was out. Better for us. I mean, he's a great penalty shooter. He scored us a penalty during the game.
Chipped it, hit just past the line.
You know, crossbar, and that's so. Maybe it's another sign that it's our time. So, and after everything, what I saw, I say, Zizou is an amazing person. He's a great guy. It's humble and beautiful person. Sometimes it happened also before. In Juve, he got kicked many times, and sometimes it got these reactions. That occasion wasn't a kick, was talking, dirty talks, and end up like this. Feel sorry for him, of course, but on the other hand, I mean, I say, but you won the World Cup already, so let's share this beautiful moment in this way. And we end up winning the World Cup. That definitely the most exciting thing that can happen in a football player. It's another level.
It's a dream, right? Is that what you dreamed about as a kid, more than the club level?
Sometimes you don't even dream about winning the World Cup as a kid, because it's too much.
It's just to play with your national team.
Yeah, if you make a debut on my national team, is already huge. To winning the World Cup, I mean, we had a great national team in that era, even before. I think 2002, we have an incredible World Cup team as well in Japan and Korea. Even 98, when we lost on the penalties against France. You know, that's kind of things that go around.
And then 94 penalties against Brazil.
Yeah. And then, again, 90s penalties against Argentina at home.
So were you nervous going into the penalties?
We always lost the penalty.
Yeah.
For us was, we were running through a curse, something, you know. But I think at some moment of your life, if you follow the right things, the right feeling, if you play as a team, if you put on top always the team between personal goals, if you create an environment that is it's a complete environment, not only players. We're talking about chef, talking the guy that's taking care of the shoes, that, you know, everybody. In that moment, we were a big unit. And then when you throw a punch with that big unit, it's tougher and heavier than something else. And that moment, I believe, also, you know, universe, God, talk whatever you want to talk. It's your turn. When we lost against France, the Euros in 2000, we were winning in 95 minutes, and they draw in the last second of the game, and then they win. So sometimes it happened to you, good and bad things. And that time was our time. Incredible team in many ways. And the only game that we didn't win.
USA. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
There was like 3 red cards in that game. That was the first game I ever started in a World Cup. And we scored a goal that was called back. Beasley scored, McBride was in an offside position.
Exactly.
I guess limiting the goalie view. And yeah, that was the only good result we
De
had.
Rossi sent off straight away for the elbow.
Yep.
What'd you think of the Americans at that point? Going into that game, did you think
easy game?
It was going to be an easy game?
No, you don't think about easy game. You think that you're going to win because you feel stronger than the other team, of course, and because you are in the World Cup and you have to win. But then it happened what happened. I mean, it was 10 men down, 1 man down after 20 minutes, I guess, something like this. That's changed all the dynamics. And it's...
Then we went 2 red cards.
Yeah.
And then we were a man down. So I think.
Do you remember your impression of Clint in that game?
I remember pretty well, not that game, but what he did after that. I mean...
I think 2 times our pass cross. That and then the Fulham game.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I had a little chip.
I don't remember the Fulham game. I don't know what you're talking about.
You went to Craven Cottage, there was a chip.
Wait, this is what game? Fulham playing who?
Playing Juve.
Playing Juve.
Yeah, second leg.
In what? Is this Europa?
Yep.
Okay.
Wasn't us, Kate.
You had the best seat in the house, front row. It was.
They beat us
We got
badly.
lucky. But they scored first.
Yeah.
So they beat us in Turin. It was like 3-1.
Yeah.
They come to our
Oh, this
place.
is the second leg.
Second leg, they score first. You think, oh hell, this is over with. But we started scoring, and we kept scoring. And then I came off the bench and got a lucky goal, and they subbed him on to try to save the day. And it's the only
Game
time
over.
I've ever beat Del Piero.
Have you enjoyed retirement?
In which way?
Anyway. Why are there ways that you haven't enjoyed
I
it?
miss football every day, Kate.
You do?
Yes. I wish I go back in time.
That's
But
why-
of course
that's why
I'm
this job's
enjoying
the
it. I mean,
best.
there's a lot of things to do, including this beautiful conversation with you guys. But my nature, and I think also your nature, when you have that kind of passion, you want to be on the pitch, but you need to deal with the consequences. I mean, we used to say, you know, that you die twice when you do sports. You die when you die, and you die the time when you are not able to do what you were doing before. Play football, especially, I mean, my experience is in Europe, of course, in Italy, but it's totally involving your life. There's no moment that you can hang around by yourself. People recognize you, ask you photos, everything. You are a celebrity. And you take everything from that, the good part and the part that you don't have that much privacy. But it's involved you really in every way. Involve your families, your wife, kids, everything. You're on that path. And
I've died a few times. But now that you've been removed from the game for a while now, where do you think you'd find the most happiness? What's the dream job for you?
But I'm actually happy with what I'm doing. I have no regret. I mean, I just finished the license coach, so I'm fully pro license coach, for example, because you never know.
Okay. Is coaching
Yes,
a role?
do they speak
Very
good
good. You
English?
speak better than me.
Great.
Shit.
You speak.
I'm impressed.
You speak really well.
Very
Thank
well.
you.
Is coaching, is that a role that you want to pursue?
No, now. No, this year for sure. but it's really interesting, and I'm looking now in a different ways. I mean, when I say that, it seems, well, what happened in 1 or 2 years happened something that's, you know, so you're looking for your conditional coach, your second, your assistant, your this and that. Then you start creating in my mind what could be the stuff. And it's funny. It's interesting and funny. But you change your life, basically, because becoming a coach, you spend 24 hours.
You know, we've talked about the way you served the club, 19 years, right? The way you stuck with the club, going down to Serie B, staying and fighting and bringing them back up. There's such a romance between you, the fans, the clubs. It's like this great love story, right? Would the ideal end to that love story for you be having some kind of a role at Juventus, whether it's on the sidelines as a coach, whether it's in the back office? Is that something that you want?
Well, it would be a good story to show and to tell, definitely, yeah. It's what happened between Juventus and I mean, what happened in our period of time, it definitely didn't happen before to any players. I mean, there's players that become legend in Juve, but nobody went to relegation and come back and win again. So it's 19 years is a long time. Do I see myself in the club in the future? Yeah, I would love to, of course. It's my club.
Is it something you have tried to pursue, though? Have you pushed for opportunity and looked?
No, I think it has to be something natural, and they have to become from you. They need to want you, and then you deal with people. Remember, because when you think about you, you think about the club. But my relationship with the people that are doing the job now and everything is really good, even before. With the fan, it's amazing. So sometimes we do some work together. So it's lovely things. Maybe in the future happen something.
No.
Probably. But
you are the club. No matter who owns the club, no matter who's the sporting director, they have to do something to get you involved.
I believe, and I say it before, of course, that people like in my position, like could be Totti for Roma, like Maldini for Milan, that he did twice, 2 years actually, and then not anymore, or like Zanetti, what he's doing now with Inter. They play for a long time for the same club because they know the club, because they know what's going on, because they know the fans, the mentality and everything. Having someone inside the club is good, in my opinion. But I'm not the guy that decides.
El Presidente del Piero.
They have their own president now, but let's see what happens.
It's got a nice ring.
But you said it would be a nice story. That sign is kind of passive as an answer. Is it something that you want?
Working for Juve, definitely yes. It's part of my life. I spend more time there than my hometown. For example, more time in Torino than my hometown. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
So and it would be nice, of course. But if it doesn't happen, it never changed what is the relationship between me and what happened with the fans. We wrote history together. It's a beautiful story, in my opinion. Amazing for some point of view, sad in some others. We go through. With this fan, we go through life for 20 years. It's
like a family.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt hurt that they haven't yet offered you a role? Has that ever felt personal?
No, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not. No. It's things change. Sometimes it's not the right moment. That's why I'm super relaxed about that. I'm super focused on what I'm doing.
Is one of the reasons for getting your badge the motivation to potentially coach your son, who I know is at Empoli now and working his way up, and having that be a possibility down the line of maybe you on the sidelines at Juve, and there's the little Del Piero
that would be
Jr.
amazing. That would be amazing. That would be a great story. That would be a great story. I didn't start for that, but of course, a little, like time here, a little bit thought about that. It is my son or my other son or my daughter. My daughter plays football as well. She's strong, so
When you lived in LA, did you coach them when they were playing teams, or did you allow them to be coached? I know you created the academy.
No, I'm always. We have academy. I have an academy in Los Angeles, but when we were there, I wasn't coaching them.
What's their number list?
I mean, even though I always say something, of course, I couldn't handle it. I promised myself, shut up, don't say something. Let's deal with the coach. Because I believe that they need to build a relation with the coaches.
Right.
Because they're doing the job with them every day. I'm not there every day. And I'm a dad. I want to be your dad.
Did the parents realize who you were from the sidelines?
Of course, yeah.
All of them? Because I know there's some that are probably like...
No, yeah. But I'm pretty calm on the pitch, to be honest. I want to be calm. And I want that they deal with their coaches. Maybe have a conversation, of course, at home.
Was it hard for you at those games to sit near the parents, like, or did you have to go to like the corner flag and be by yourself?
Clint's saying that because clearly he has to go to the
Man, I have to sit so far away from everybody, and because you don't want to say anything that like upsets or offends people, but you're like talking to yourself, and you're just like, oh, what the hell? What are they doing? Blah blah blah. Like,
what the coach is doing? Say something.
What is my kid doing? Oh my goodness.
What if the parents are yelling stuff? What if the parents are yelling stuff?
Oh
Did
yeah,
that ever get under your
I mean,
skin?
it'll take a lot for me to have to say something, but like if someone says something about my kid, I have to. It'd be hard.
Has that happened?
No, I've been pretty good.
He doesn't know he's up in the corner.
I'm trying to stay away. I try to get away from people so that I
don't listen to them
so
as
I
well.
don't listen, right? So, but you know, I didn't win World Cups and Champions Leagues and all that, but I'm over there just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, get so upset.
I know the feeling. I'll do the same.
Until that Juve position comes calling, you're a TV analyst, and you are Team CBS. Yes.
Let's go.
You said at the top of the show, you re-signed. You signed your deal before the budget cuts came through. You're good.
We shake our hand. And in Italy, where you shake your hand.
Word is bond.
Yes. It's like done. That's why I say that.
So you're with us for the next season?
I will. Not every day.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
For you guys.
I just want to take this moment to acknowledge the new faces who are joining the first team today.
You're going to see me for the next
Compete
season. I'm
and
super
give your all,
happy and excited.
and you
Do you know,
make your
are you
case
going to be
without
on
coming
location? You're going to be at the desk? Where are you going to be?
Some and some.
Okay. Who's getting moved out for you to come in?
Micah, Jamie.
I don't know. It's not
It's
my...
not me. I know that. Okay, so let's think about a hypothetical situation, right? Thierry Henry, Olympic silver medalist, gets offered a job, full-time role, right, in football coaching. So he leaves. Would you rather have, it's just a hypothetical. It's not what I'm wishing for. He leaves to go and coach, full-time position. Would you rather have that role in the studio, or would you rather be assistant coach with TT, somewhere, big club, big opportunity? Which we taking?
Oh, that's a big fun question.
Good options.
Good option. I don't know. I don't have an answer now.
Depends where it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think to be an assistant, it's great. It's great for your experience. But then I want to coach.
You want to be the man.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel you.
I want to face TT on the pitch.
We're sending Clint sideline. We're sending him to, I think we're sending you to Milan, aren't we?
Oh, yeah?
We're sending you sideline next
I'm down.
season.
Italy's
He's set a
always
very
good.
high standard.
They got good food over there.
In terms of looking dapper on the
wine.
sideline.
I need to work on my fashion.
Alessandro set the bar right up there.
Yeah, I need to work on my fashion for sure.
Crocs are not welcome in Italy.
Okay.
Would you ever wear Crocs?
I need to get some shades.
Yeah, one summer, yes.
You
but not that much. Some people in my family, yes.
Clint is very upset because Charlie got a deal with Crocs somehow. Clint always wears Crocs.
No.
You didn't get a deal? Wait, okay, you got free gear.
They sent me free Crocs.
Yeah.
And my family.
And look at you out here wearing Crocs on TV all the time. I know not today.
Hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna go pick up a new style. I'm gonna go to Milan, learn about
You have
Italian.
already Italian shoes.
There we go. See,
Yeah.
I got a little
Some
culture.
loafers.
There we
the
go.
Suede.
I'm gonna eat some of the what's that stuff called? That place where you played the game.
Rimini?
That food.
Piadina.
I'm gonna some padini.
Piadina, no, spiedina.
Piadina.
Piadina.
Yeah.
Spiedina is another thing.
Okay. Is it good or bad?
It's good.
Yeah, I want both of them.
Listen,
Well, see,
you
bro.
don't have bad
Fucking
stuff.
fine,
Yeah, you gotta.
Food. Trust me.
Who was the best teammate you ever had?
No. But it depends
Let me pick my team
what
first.
we're thinking or talking about.
Who'd you have the most fun with?
I spent more time with Delivio because we came from Padua both, was much older than me, and then we joined Juve the same year. So we kind of, together like brothers. But then
Oh, fuck. Ya lo quité. When the fantasy has ended. Estamos. I'm not gonna make a video this time because Sanchez got the most points. He got 15. How did he get 15? Let me pick a team. Gonna have to transfer him up. Dude, these dudes have gone down. There were 6 and now there's menos. Good. I guess hello. See it there. Can't do that. Oh, Nana. What's my name? Oh, Nana. Get rid of Trent. I'm not having Trent. Just fuck no, dude. چه ولی بیها What? That took an L. Fuck. Fuck! No! I was supposed to climb the third. Goodbye, man. If he scores, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But I have to risk it. going to sleep.